The Bostonian is Matt Perrault.
This is our city.
The book is Dave Sharapan.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Together, they are The Bostonian versus The Book.
You covered 12. Covered!
Follow the show on Twitter at Boston versus The Book.
How do you like them apples?
Bringing you the best insight on sports betting news, Matt and Dave's daily picks, and an entertaining and unfiltered dive into the sports betting industry. Here's Dave Sharapan and Matt Perrault.
And here we go.
Happy Sports Equinox, everybody. What's up? It's a Monday, the Bostonian versus the Book. Dave Sharapan, Matt Perrault with you live on YouTube, Twitter, at Boston versus the Book. Replayed on Sirius XM channel 159 and on Sports Grid TV. Sorry about the late start on the day. That is on me, the internet, the leaf blower, the landscapers, all of this. But we're here Monday. Are you ready to celebrate Sports Equinox, Dave? How are you?
Thought you weren't even going to talk about it and call it the Equinox like everybody else. Everybody's calling it the Equinox.
Well, you know, when in Rome, follow the whole deal.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. My whole life I've been zagging when everybody's zigging. Call it whatever you want. It's a day when baseball, basketball, hockey, and NFL are all playing. All the pro leagues got a game. It only happens once a year, twice a year, 3 times a year. It's the only time it's going to happen in 2023.
According to
what?
According to Ben Stevens, it's only the 30th time ever. Not sure it's true or not, but Ben Stevens of Sports Grid tweeted that this morning. This is only the 30th time ever this has happened.
Yeah, Big Man Mish told me that last week, that this would be the day where that happened. The only time in 2023. I don't know how many career times it's happened. It won't be the first time. It won't be the last time that the leaf blower was causing problems for us to start. And the chat is all here. You guys are doing an unbelievable job of hitting the like button every day and hitting the subscribe button, because somehow we are getting more and more people subscribing to the YouTube channel every single day, which we attribute it to you guys, because we're not telling you to do it and we don't know how to trick the bots into doing it. Once we figure that out, though, that number might go up unsuspiciously, and I don't know how that'll happen. And then we can take away that argument about the numbers. That's a whole nother story. I'm fired up. I'm glad the guy's gone. I'm glad your internet is reset. I'm glad the boys and girls are all here in the chat. They were doing a thing. I did this while you were resetting.
Okay.
I went in there and said, go in the chat today, like Roll Call Friday, when everybody comes in and says where they're from in a 3-digit area code.
Yeah.
Go in today and put what time you got in the chat.
Oh.
Your time zone. So like today I went in and said, hi, my name is Dave, 11:12 a.m. Pacific. And then the boys started coming with all the things. You
like it?
They asked you to ask the leaf blower. Unfortunately, he's already gone. Who he liked in the game tonight, because there's a big Monday night game tonight,
which we'll get to later on the program. I swear I will wear the umbrella hat at some point this week. It's not like I'm avoiding it. It's literally upstairs, and I come downstairs to do the show, and then something haywire has happened nearly every day over the last 4 days. And it's in my brain to go up and get it, to come back and pay off that debt you guys said.
So if you stop right now, unplug those headphones and go get it. It will take 13 seconds?
I don't feel like doing it. Yeah, no, we're already late. We're not doing it. No, I have to teach today. No, we can't do that.
It's going to mess your hair up? What's the problem?
Nah, just it's in general. We'll do it tomorrow.
We're doing a Pacific Coast time zone.
Which is perfect. They'll give me more time to remember to do it. So I'll bring it down here.
Tomorrow the show is not going to start until 11:30-ish Pacific, 2:30-ish p.m. Eastern. Just letting you all know right now at the top of the show. Got another doctor's appointment. We got to get these things checked. They're checking me for all different things. So I got an appointment in the morning. Blame it on me.
No blame there.
Can't be here. Listen afterward.
Yeah.
If you can't be here, get in the chat. Late show tomorrow, 11:30-ish
Pacific
a.m., 2:30-ish p.m. Eastern. That's 1:30 Central, 12:30 Mountain.
So last night, I'm on the phone, right? Having conversation, and I literally screamed because I'm casually watching the hockey game.
Yes.
Just casually watching it. Watching. I've never had this happen before where I look up and somehow the guys went ahead and grabbed my tweet.
Fantastic.
And put it on TV.
That's fantastic.
And they spent about 4 minutes talking about what is more Canada than Nickelback. I wasn't saying this complimentary, even though they took it as being complimentary.
Yeah.
I was not being polite by saying, is there anything more Canada than Nickelback playing at the Heritage Classic?
Right.
They took it as kind of like a funny. Biz was talking about what he would do to make it more Canada, have them wear like a Canadian tuxedo, have them dressed out in all denim. But I literally screamed out, holy, on the phone. The person I was talking to was like, what's your problem? I was like, sorry. I was like, I'm watching the game and my name popped up on the screen and it just like stunned me for a second. I
want to thank Biz and everyone else that's watching our show for paying attention to stuff like that and then putting it on TNT. We appreciate it. You can put that in your bio too,
right?
With all the other 17 jobs that you have, that I have, as seen on TNT. Put that up there, please, because you know, I mean, it might help. It might help. You know, these people that want to sponsor the show, they keep asking questions. We've been on TNT too. Look, yesterday we got the graphic. It was on there. All right. So question answered. Done. Good job.
I was laughing. I was like, wow. It's like, okay.
So what is your beef with Nickelback?
It's not really, it's like punching down. It's like too easy. What's my beef with Nickelback? Have you heard Nickelback?
What's
my beef with Nickelback is Nickelback. Like that's my beef with them. Oh, it's like somebody was like, wait a minute. Because I admitted later on, I said, I've seen Nickelback 4 times. Never paid for it. I was just handed tickets because when you work in radio, Nickelback played it over the course of, I don't know, from like 2005 to 2015. They were like the radio band. Whenever you had like a jingle jam or you had like a Valentine's Day show or whatever it was, whatever the local FM station was putting on. If you had a rock station, Nickelback would play it. Like they were cheap. Like they just got paid. They were always around. So like I've hung out with them. I've seen them play acoustic in the studio. I've seen them play live. I've just seen a lot of Nickelback. And it's just, you know, I make people like, how can you make fun of Creed if you see Nickelback? I'm like, I don't pay to see Creed or Nickelback. I never would. But free is free. You hand me tickets? All right, fine. I know many of their songs. Yes, I can sing along to many of their songs. I was rolling at that performance last night.
You paid for tickets to go to that Taylor Swift thing on Saturday night. So
just
because you got free and just because you pay, that doesn't mean anything to me because you actually went willingly.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
To that thing, right? That you wouldn't have gone to if it wasn't for your kid. Let's be perfectly honest.
I mean, if I had gone by myself, I might be arrested for being a pedophile. So like you can't be like a single 46-year-old guy going to that. It would look really weird because the average age in that place was probably 15, 16 would be my guess.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It was young. They were like, it was weird too, because like you had all the local Vegas kids with their moms. You could easily tell who was local, who was Vegas, who was with their mom. Mm-hmm. And then you had the tourist who was in for town for the weekend, who was sloshed drunk, who couldn't stand up, who was dancing either inappropriately or just like not on something of, not sober, on a pretty hard substance. You could just tell, and they stood out like a sore thumb while they were. I mean, one woman was literally passed out on the couch. Like Jessica was like, "That woman's really messed up." I was like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "Watch her." And I looked at her and I was like, "Oh my gosh, you're right. That woman's not sober at all."
Let me just point this out, and I don't know if she's watching or not. If Jess is watching, I've never been happier that another man has been with my wife somewhere in my life. Just so you know. And they made picture thing afterward. You're included in all the pictures.
Oh, nice. Good.
You and Maddie and Jessica and Kendall. You've made it into the family annals.
Look at that.
Family annals. No, family annals. Annals. The annals of the Sharapan. No, you've made it right in. You're in. Now I can't get rid of you.
There's a visual I did not want to have on Monday morning.
I'm just saying. I was at home watching the games. I was really enjoying myself, and I got a couple pictures texted me, and I was like, "This is wonderful. This is just." I'm hoping you're having a good time because I know
went by
I was.
fast. It went by fast. I'll say that. Okay. It was definitely when I walked in, I looked at Jessica and I was like, 3 hours of this? And she was like, how serious are you about the hard 30 and not drinking? Because you may need a drink. I was like, I'm pretty serious about it, but you're absolutely right. Like, alcohol definitely would make this a little bit easier to kind of go through. But then Madeline got going, and my gosh, my kid puts on a show. And I mean, there's an adage of like dance like no one's watching. Like my kid actually like literally lives that. Like she could care less who was around, who was watching. She got a standing ovation from these 4 women who were there, who literally like they stood up and were applauding her and said, I didn't think I was getting a show until you put on a show. Keep going. And that it was like she got tired after 2 hours of straight dancing.
That's
but like,
the best.
It was fun.
She really good on Saturday.
Oh, she passed out on the way home. 5 minutes in the car. She was out, bang, asleep.
Yes.
She didn't even make it to the first stoplight, basically. It was great. But like that was a really, it's fun because it's for them. It's not for me.
Correct.
It's for them. And I really like that Kendall and Madeline have a really sweet relationship. And I really like, I love watching the two of them interact because they're different in really nice ways. And so like they counteract each other really well. So that's fun for me.
It's
to watch them.
fantastic. I love it. I don't like it. I love it. And I love it even more that I was at home watching sports while you were doing that. And it's just, listen, everybody has somebody that's just kind of, believe me, anything else that we're going to proceed on this journey together. I mean, I'm going to have to, it was my pleasure to go eat with you. We went and had lunch and you're like, oh, I forgot my wallet, which by the way, people watching the show, you guys, when you forget your wallet, where you can't remember exactly where it's at, but it's not on your person.
The world ends.
Perrault's anal about a lot of things. You stayed surprisingly calm after you had
inside. I wasn't calm
panic.
because I had an 80%. I was 80% sure I knew where it was. So I went to boxing. I put it in my gym bag. That was the last time I saw it. And then when I got to your house, I don't know. It was a crazy morning. Madeline was late. I was running around trying to get ready to get her showered and me showered and then get over to your house to do the picks. Yeah. And so we're running around. So I ran out of the house and then you're like, let's go eat. I'm like, okay. I stood up and I went.
You did the pat. You did the left pocket, right pocket. And you're like, wait a second, I'll drive. And I was like, okay. And then you're like, wait a second. I'm like, what? My wallet.
Where's my wallet?
Where's my wallet?
And I was like, I have my phone and I have my car keys. There's a third thing that's supposed to be in my pocket that is not good. Actually. And I was wearing jogging pants. So they had no back pocket. So I'm like, there's no back pocket. Where the bleep is my wallet? And so I started to run through my head of all the different places it could be. And I'm like, all right, if it's not in my bag when I get home, I'm going to flip out because that means it's either at the gym or it's somewhere in Dave's house or it's gone. And I am in a world of hurt trying to replace everything that's in that thing. So at some point, I know we're going to have a digital wallet and that's all we're going to have. And we're going to no longer carry around these things. But until then,
not me. Not doing that.
You're not going to have a choice in the matter.
Not doing it.
Yeah, we're going to have digital licenses.
You've seen what I carry around. I got a rubber band. I got all my stuff and I got cash.
That is true.
I ain't changing. I ain't getting no digital wallet ever. Not doing
your
it.
License might be digital. All your credit cards might be digital.
Nah, not for me.
Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next 10, 15 years because, 15 years ago, if you had said I can buy things with this, just go deep, people would be like, what are you talking about? Like, yep, you just buy things with.
You know what else you can buy things with? Cash.
Will you be able to?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a great question. What do we do?
Well, you got to watch TV with a cord because you try to watch TV with the stream and you get all these issues.
You love this story. We'll get to this story in a second. We'll start with what happened this weekend, then we'll get to the Sunday ticket.
Get to that one.
Bigger topic, more important topic. Your wide receiver decides to go public and he's going to get absolutely hammered with a fine for saying the following. They must have got paid good today about the referees insinuating that they were on the take for what they did with the calls involving the Jaguars game. I'm going to say this. He has a point, not for calling out the referees saying they're on the take, but the referees got Kenny Pickett hurt. And there were numerous calls that made no sense during that game. And I'm not saying that just because it blew my entire day up because the Steelers didn't cover either the teaser or the +2, but that was a really poorly officiated game. How did Pap and Deb handle that game?
Best thing ever yesterday is that the Raiders are playing today, which means we get the best games like we used to before we had a team here in town.
Yeah.
So we get the best games. We get the doubleheader. And I check now every Saturday what the local game is on Sunday because I know around 10 o'clock, if the Steeler game is supposed to be on and it ain't, I can hear the audible noise coming from the other side of the house. And then usually Grandma shuffles in and says, "Is the Steeler game on, David?" Everywhere else it is, Deb, but okay.
Yeah.
So they're watching the game and they're getting mad. And then there's a whole nother issue of stuff going on in this house. I didn't have nothing to say about it. I had to get out of here and go upstairs and watch the second half myself. But he's not wrong, okay, what he said. But it's not just the Steeler game. The officiating has been subpar all season. There are things that are called that shouldn't be called. There are definitely things not called that 100% should be called. Certain times, certain plays, certain whatever. I don't know what to do about it. I just know that, yes, it's affecting things. And now that more and more people are gambling because, of course, they're partners with the leagues and it's nonstop splash.
Regardless if they're gambling more, the partnership with the leagues is the problem. That if they're going to push gambling, people winning and losing money, and they're going to be in bed with the sports books, and
they
they're going to
care about that.
They need to, because it's a big issue. And so that if you don't care about that, you cannot fine Deontay Johnson for his comments.
Oh, you can.
You can. I know.
He's the help,
and they will.
I mean, the help cannot talk bad about the product.
I mean,
you can be the help. You can't gamble on the product, but you can advertise and have books in the stadiums. Okay, you can play. You can get hurt, and you still can't say something bad about the product. If you do, you're going to get fined. So he made a conscious decision. He said it once. There was a follow-up question. He doubled and tripled it up. You saw Kaboli's reaction. Was that the shot of Kaboli, who's got he's a big guy. He was noticeably like, "Oh, okay," kind of smiled. I don't think at that point, do you think he knew what he was saying?
Well, he said, quote, "I didn't like the refs today. They must have gotten paid good today or something. They blew that field goal that hurt us coming into half. We needed that." He's saying they were killing us the whole game. The same refs we had at training camp. I didn't like the refs today. At the end of the day, we can't keep complaining about the refs. Like Coach said, we can't worry about the refs or whatever, but everyone's different. Mike Tomlin was seen on the sidelines asking, "What the F is wrong with y'all today?" If you can read lips, as during the game as to what was going on. I mean, there were a couple of plays, just to highlight them. First,
are we doing a clean show today? You keep bleeping yourself.
I don't know. I'm not doing a clean show. I'm just trying to be more
conscious
of Will, just letting Will. A lot of people watching the show, they feel like we say things a little bit over the top sometimes. Just showing you that we can do a clean show if we need to.
All right, no, we'll do it clean. That's fine until BBB bonus time. Then we can say whatever we want, right?
Yeah, you do it now. It's fine. But the Kenny Pickett hit, a guy literally picked up a starting quarterback in the NFL and drove him into the ground. Knocked him out of the game. Changed the whole game. Ended the game for the Steelers because Mitch Trubisky I'll say it now, it's a goddamn disaster. So you have
in and led a touchdown drive. I mean, it was 17-10.
Through 2 picks was awful.
Afterward, when they knew he had to pass, then it got bad.
Trubisky's awful. So
does he start this week?
Thursday Night Football. We'll see. Pickett is his game time decision.
So if he don't start, do you start Mason Rudolph?
I don't know. They're both horrible. Like, what do you do? It's like picking which finger to cut off. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just like it's hard. It's a hard decision.
How finger would you cut off if you had to pick?
Probably my pinky if I had to.
Are you nuts? It's a ring finger. Easy.
No.
What is this finger good for other than the ring?
The ring finger. Try to grab things without the ring finger. I guess you can. Yeah, I guess you can. Yeah, all right. I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe I would say
Ask the chat if
I
you
would say
had
the
the
pinky just because-
ridiculous. It's a ridiculous even thing to say.
Got-
But if you
thumb's
had to
most-
cut a
thumb is the
finger
most
off,
important thing in your hand, though. That's the most
you would
important thing.
never. The thumb is not even you would
Yeah.
never cut your thumb off.
Yeah, that's the most important thing.
If you
Changes.
could cut a finger off, if you had to pick one, which would you pick? It's ring minus 8,000.
Interesting.
Ring finger.
Yeah, I don't know. I still think the pinky's in the conversation though, but because you can throw change ups without the pinky, and you can do a bunch of different things without the pinky. Fastballs without the pinky. You know, you can still play sports without the pinky. You can throw a football without the pinky. Anyways, that play was horrible. Kenny Pickett got hurt. They allowed the Miami Dolphins to run CFL plays against the Patriots. They had multiple guys in motion, and they had multiple times where receivers were moving towards the line of scrimmage when the ball got snapped. Like, they just let it go the entire game. Like, it was, I'm watching this going like, how is this happening? Like, what are you just like in love with Mike McDaniel now? And like, this guy is like this, like your new buddy, I don't know what, because you could have called it like 3 or 4 times illegal motion on the Dolphins, and they didn't call it.
How many times you watch a game where you see the tackles? I swear he moves before the ball is snapped every play. They don't call it. I don't know.
DeAndre Hopkins took a defensive back, grabbed his back, and turned him around.
That was nice move. Did you see that? That was sweet. Touchdown.
If you aren't going to call offensive pass interference, why do we even have the rule? Like, why is the rule even in existence? If that's not offensive pass interference, then what are we doing? Because that was as blatant of literally the cornerback, and I forget his name, I apologize, for the Falcons, went over to right to the referee and went like, what do you want me to do? Like, what do you want me to do? He grabbed the back of my jersey. He spun me around, and I'm literally 2 feet now away from him. Catches the ball, touchdown.
Touchdown.
Long throw, Will Levis. Now he threw 3 others and 2 more to Hopkins, but that one, not calling that, started the avalanche for that offense. I mean, come on, bro. Like, what? You got to be at least a little bit consistent. You can't just ignore that.
Oh, no. Don't start holding these people accountable, Perrault. No.
I want them in the press room. I'll say it again. I want them.
What's the purpose of that?
To be held accountable
to the press,
for the
to the league.
No, to the fans, to the people who pay their salary.
They don't pay their salary. They don't. They all have second jobs. What are you talking about? The officials have second jobs. It's a part-time gig.
For some, there are some full-time.
Contracting employees.
There are some full-time. There are some full-time now, but yes, for the most part, they are part-time guys. Yes, I would agree. I mean, Clete Blakeman.
It's hard.
Clete Blakeman's a friend of mine.
To do. Just because they would get paid, they would do it better. Just because they would have to answer questions afterward, they would do it better. I don't know, but I know that what you see, it's not acceptable. If you have this worldwide billions of dollar product, you can't have all these questions every game. It don't matter if it's Atlanta, Tennessee, which, by the way, those uniforms are unbelievable. They should never change. Number 2, Chargers, Bears. We got guys putting in the chat. There was false starts every time, not called. Just let it go. Just get the clock. We got to keep it moving.
Bears scored a touchdown in the first play of the game where they got called back, right?
I don't know. I wasn't watching it. I had enough football by the time.
I was watching hockey.
The Ravens covered, not covered, not covered, then not covered. I was like, you know what? Everybody's got to take a break from this for the day. Oh yeah.
Look, Clete Blakeman is a guy I've known for a long time. I knew him as a Big 12 referee. He's a lawyer in Omaha, Nebraska. For the first time ever, Clete Blakeman now is using advertisements for his law firm with Clete Blakeman, not his likeness, but a likeness of a referee to go ahead and advertise his law firm. I don't know if he's done it before in the past. I like Clete a lot. I've had a long-standing relationship. If I saw him, I'd walk up and hug him and be like, what's going on, man? I haven't seen you in so many years.
Should we have Clete on the show?
He can't. I wish they could. It'd be great. I would love to have referees come on the show.
Just have him come on and ask about Omaha stuff.
I would love to have a conversation. I would love to see what the league is thinking about in trying to fix this, because again, we're still asking 65-year-old guys with chains to determine first downs. We're still asking people to eyeball whether a touchdown in a ball crosses the plane or not. These are all fixable things by technology. We can fix all of these things.
The best is the first down. the measurement of the first down, there's video. I don't know if you've seen it, of an Arizona first down that was not a first down because the refs that spotted the ball just decided to move it back 3 feet before they even came out and put the chains out. They put it down, and they were going to measure it. And then he literally picked up the ball because the other ref came in and said, no, back here. So he picked it up, put it back there. The Ravens ran off the field, 4th down short. I saw it last night. I was like, oh, no. I mean, if we tweet this, like, we got people watching our Twitters. I mean, between all the bots, I got more porn bots following me every time I tweet something. You got TNT putting you on a thing. Yeah. We got people watching our Twitter feed, not to mention the show.
Yeah, I didn't even tag the best part about that is I didn't even tag TNT.
I know. That's what I mean. I know they got spies watching the show. Yeah. They got burners watching the show. There's people trying to tag you in different things, trying to get you to respond to different things. We know what you're doing. Just thank you for watching the show. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button while you're here. That's all you got to do. Thank you.
It's unbelievable. The biggest issue for some of these teams now, what do you do the rest of the year? Kirk Cousins, Achilles, done for the year. Bad. Kendrick Bourne, ACL, done for the year.
Oh, good.
These are 2 bad football teams, Vikings, Patriots. Others are in the same boat.
Yeah.
Right now, there's no rumblings of anything significant happening tomorrow at the trade deadline, but should there be? Should teams sell who are out of it? Patriots 100% should be punting on the season and should be selling off as many pieces as possible.
Who they want on the Patriots?
I mean, there's offensive linemen, there's defensive linemen, there's guys, there's cornerbacks, there's players that people would want that the Patriots could make available, but there's no, I mean, the Titans were thinking about DeAndre Hopkins and Derrick Henry, but they are now no way after that performance last night with what Will Levis did. We'll get to it in a second. There's no way they're trading anybody from Tennessee. But I don't know. Quarterback wise, would you trade for a quarterback if you were a team like, I don't know, the Browns?
Vikings?
Think the Vikings should go get a quarterback? I mean, Kyler Murray is technically available. He under contract because Kirk Cousins is now most likely never going to play for the Vikings ever again.
Well, isn't I mean, the Vikings with another win, like, aren't they in contention?
I guess they could be. Yeah, they could be. I mean, Kyler Murray could be available. He could play this week. And by all accounts, the Cardinals would love to get off his contract. And the Vikings are not going to re-sign Kirk Cousins next year. Would you go trade for Kyler Murray?
I don't know if I'd trade for him. I don't know who they should trade for, but I don't think their season's done.
Okay.
Minnesota. Well, I mean, I was trying to go through last night. We haven't asked the BVB with the, futures and stuff, trying to determine who's going to make the playoffs and things like that. I was looking at it a little bit last night. I'll look at it again, probably while I'm sitting in a doctor's office tomorrow. Jacksonville really impressed me yesterday. I don't know if Tennessee has to face the fact that maybe they're really not in it. Maybe they just played a quarterback that they got. It waited until now to play Levis. He looked okay. I think they have their guy. Yeah, I think they have their guy. What do you mean?
I mean, he threw for 4 touchdown passes. Only 3 guys in the history of the league have done that now.
And 2 of them were on interference calls that weren't called. I mean, things were right. They played Atlanta. Pump the brakes. That's a good debut. It's great.
Historic debut.
They were dogs yesterday.
It's Fran Tarkington. Fran Tarkington.
Yep.
The guy Marcus Mariota, and now Will Levis. NFL quarterbacks to throw 4 touchdown tosses in their first game starting in the NFL.
It's awesome. It means nothing. They won. That's
really
great.
I mean, it's
nothing. I mean, it's a good first game. That's good. But I don't know. Is he the guy now because he did that?
He should be. Ryan Tannehill should be traded tomorrow.
Well, that's the move behind the move, right?
Yeah, Ryan Tannehill should be traded tomorrow. Like if I'm the Titans, I'm 100% saying who wants him? Come get him. We're gonna play Levis or Malik Willis for that matter. Who wants to go get Malik Willis? Because he's not playing again.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean you just trade everybody, because then if you win 3 in a row, if you're Tennessee,
Yeah.
which they can go to Pittsburgh and win this week.
Right.
It's possible. I mean,
Yeah.
they're dogs, but it's possible. They're right back in the equation of making the playoffs this year, which is the goal every year.
Right. I'm not
So
saying
you just trade away the backups, and then Levis gets crushed in a game and gets hurt.
Well, not
and they got
both.
the
I would
backup
trade
wide
one.
receiver playing.
I would trade one. I wouldn't trade both. I would either
Right.
trade
Well-
Tannehill or I'd trade Malik Willis. You took Malik Willis with a second-round pick.
Doesn't matter where you got picked anymore. That's those things are done. They make mistakes all the time.
Sure. So, I mean,
Where
I would
they-
trade one of the. You have 3 quarterbacks. Levis is the guy who's going to be the quarterback next year. I think it's pretty clear. They spent the whole bye week getting him ready. He came out and he torched the Falcons. So now, look, I don't think he's going to do it against the Steelers defense, in particular against a Mike Tomlin coached Steelers defense. This is like Belichick against a rookie. The Steelers will eat this guy for lunch next week. Now, whether or not the offense does anything, that's a whole different story. But like, you want to talk about betting an under? You can bet the under in the Steelers Titans game like now. Like that game is going to go
36.
Under. Yeah, bet under. It's going under. No one's scoring. 15-10 final. So that's unless Pickett plays, and then maybe there's a little bit of a different there. But I mean, to me, Levis is going to struggle against that defense, and so that's the danger of starting a rookie. First start on the road in prime time. Not the most ideal situation, but you're right. The Titans could win a couple of games in a row. We'd be right back in it. And if Levis plays really well against the Steelers and goes and wins, and then you're talking about a team, I think that could make a run. I think in that division, Panthers just beat the Texans yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody taking a victory lap on that one. Congrats to all you content creators who had the Panthers.
The number was wrong. I mean,
stayed away from it.
That's good. It's just one of those ones where how can Texans be favored on the road? It's a
Yeah.
pick 'em game. You know, you bet it up. Books knew what they were doing. Set the number 2.5, 3, and let them bet it. It was one of the biggest games of the week for the books.
15-13. Oof.
Ugly.
Ugly games all over the place. There was ugly games. The Denver KC game was really ugly. Broncos get a victory over that. Everyone's blaming Taylor Swift for not showing up. Chief fans are all, it was like, we blaming Taylor for the team getting the flu? Is that what we're doing too? Because the whole team's got the flu.
Does she have the flu?
I don't know. I mean, Mahomes was puking his guts out the night before, I guess. He was sick as a dog, and they went out there and played like dogs against the Denver Broncos.
Maybe they got some bad meat at a steakhouse in Denver.
Somebody poisoned them. They went Michael Jordan flu
It's
game.
happened before. Got to be careful when you go on the road. You can't. Ain't nobody got to know who you are or where you're at. You got to.
Yeah.
You got to have people eat the food before you. Is that good? No, not sure. Don't get the fish. Can't have the fish.
Oh,
No
yeah.
good fish on the road. No good. Can't do that.
Everyone's trying to get Taylor to go to Germany because they got a big game against the Dolphins this week. I mean,
Can't
Chiefs could lose.
believe it.
Chiefs
The
could lose
whole
2 games in a
Sunday,
row.
my whole Sunday schedule's messed up because I got to get up I get up usually early anyway, but like
Right.
Sunday is must see TV leading to the Miami Kansas City game. This is the best international game we've ever had with the teams, with
What it
everything at
means.
stake. I mean,
Right.
the number 1 record in the AFC is at stake.
Yeah.
Miami coming off another win against a team that they're supposed to win. They were big favorites. Kansas City, a favorite on the road at Denver, was too high from the word go. It was this is a good game. But
Do you? I meant to ask you this question about that. So I've noticed this. I've noticed this a couple of times, and you've mentioned it on BBB before. But our audience tends to look at odd screens and tends to watch movement. South Point has been the first to move off of key numbers on Sunday morning, at least in the odd screens I'm looking for. The last couple of weeks, they were the first ones to move Denver minus to Denver plus 6.5. They came off of 7.
Yep.
When you see that happen, it has to win, obviously. I'm not saying you trail it blindly, but is that a good indication on game day as to where the pro money is coming in late? Do they hit the South Point? Because they're minus 105. So their prices on the NFL are better. So do they get hit with the bet first?
Well, they're not minus 105 on Sunday.
Oh, okay. Just before?
No. They only do that early in the week to try to get some sharp action. No. Chris has to be aggressive because he's an independent. It's his book. Like, it's the only joint.
Right.
So if somebody comes in and takes 7, you got to go to 6.5 and be the first, so you could get somebody to come in and lay it. Because if everyone else goes to 6.5, there's no value in laying it at your place.
Okay.
So he gets off the key numbers because they never move the juice on the numbers. The answer to the other books would be to just go 7 dog 20, where you -7 even money. Chris don't do that. Chris is old school. Old school is cool sometimes, and that's the way to get business. So,
because I
saw a lot of times they'll hit that. They'll go there because you can get 20 or 30,000 on a game at South Point, no problem. So that's the other thing too. It still has to win, but yes, it's a good indicator of which way the line is going to move if it stays.
Okay.
So if Chris gets off of 7 and it goes to 6.5 and it stays there for 3 minutes, then it's like, oh, I needed to get off of that bet.
Okay.
That's why.
Yeah. Because
if he stays at 6.5, you're like, oh, okay. Now nobody's taking it.
Because I teased it up. I saw the second I saw it go 6.5, I took it at a book at 7. I made it the plus 13. I was like, okay, so if we're leaning towards Denver at plus 6.5, they're going to be in the game. They will lose by 1 score. If they lose, I teased it up to 13, and it was everyone questioned. Denver won the game outright. Didn't need to tease it. So I was just curious about that because I've seen that now 2 separate because I'm doing that live stream on Sunday mornings, and so I'm watching the odd screens. And the second time this year, a big marquee game, South Point's been the outlier. They've been off a key number where the rest of the world's on this number, and I'm like, like that's interesting. Like that's a interesting move to you could pay attention to leading up to kickoff. Like I'm talking like an hour before kickoff, like right in that window, they make a move, and you go, oh, okay, that's where some pro money's coming in, some heavy money's coming in late on those things.
Yeah, he's just trying to get a bet on the other side as quick as possible.
You love this story. Sunday Ticket had their first major issue of this season. Team YouTube tweeted it out. If you are experiencing buffering issues on YouTube, our team is aware and we're working on a fix. YouTube TV or NFL Sunday Ticket may also be impacted. We'll follow up here once this has been resolved. I had no problems. Just FYI, I was watching the entire day. I had no issues. So it wasn't everybody, but I guess there were some pretty big establishments around the country, sports bars and whatnot, that were really having a tough time on Sunday with the games, and their people were pretty pissed off.
Bummer.
And Amazon hasn't had this problem, but my retort to that is Amazon has 1 game on. So this was a full slate. There were no buys this week. The NFL just said everyone's playing week 8. We're not going to lose any more momentum to the World Series or to NBA or NHL. Everyone's playing in week 8.
Actually, I think it's kind of fair that because a lot of people team-wise would want a week 8 bye. So what is the league answer? Nobody has a week 8 bye.
Fair.
It's right in the middle.
Yep.
And the buys mess up the momentum for a lot of things as far as teams and watching and regular patterns and all this other stuff. I understand you have to have the bye weeks, and they've made them equitable by spacing them out and all that other stuff. It's perfect to get everybody back in week 8. That's perfect. I think it's fair, and I think it's like, look, nobody gets week 8. All right, we'll do it that way. But you can't have the games not being able to be seen. People were upset about this.
No, it's a big problem. I mean, and there's no real, as we know, we are beholden to the internet. There's no great answer to when something is not working. So when cable or satellite's not working, satellite normally was weather related. So rain or wind or snow or something was impacting.
Sunspots. They used to say that all the time.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Oh yeah. They still did. Yeah, they still do. Sometimes you have sunspots. Sometimes, the reflection from the sun is impacting our satellite dish, whatever excuses they want to pop up with. I don't, who knows, but they'd pop up with some excuse as to what was happening. Your cable operator would come up with something of, a transformer blew somewhere in the city, or construction cut a line, or there's also, technical difficulties are never good. But the one thing that creates a big problem for YouTube and YouTube TV is people paid extra. Like I paid $300 for my NFL Sunday Ticket. Okay.
All right.
So if you don't give me for an entire day, if I don't get it, I should get a refund of some sort. So you break it.
Here we go.
18
I agree with you, but they're never going to do that.
Never in a million years. But you should take $300 and divide it by 18, and that's the refund you get. for not having a whole week of games available that you should have had available.
Right.
I guarantee you there were some people who canceled YouTube TV this morning and just came up and said, I'm done with it. But if you want to watch the games,
if that was your first time, it's probably your last time.
I don't know. Actually, I think if it's your first time, you might be more inclined to say, okay, it was a one-time screw up. I'll give him a second chance.
If you waited until week 8 to actually give it a shot, then you tried to do it and it didn't work, I would vote.
Right.
I mean, let's ask the chat.
True.
If you waited until week 8 and it didn't work, would you still give it another shot? Because I know.
Because why'd you wait?
You waited because you had apprehension.
Right.
You tried it and it didn't work. You're like, everything I thought is confirmed. It don't work. It's streaming. It's buffering. I got this wheel. The hell with this. That's it. I'm not doing it.
Yeah. My only criticism of it is it's not as crystal clear as it should be. So the HD transmission is not awesome. It's okay. And then my other criticism is that you should be able to decide which games are on your 4-box. The pre-populated 4-box options, I don't like. I don't like it for NFL. I don't like it for anything with sports. And then I don't understand there are certain contractual deals where they can't put 4 games on that are on certain networks. So like if I want to watch multiple
they can't
sports,
put all the CBS games on one.
Correct. Like that. Right. There's some contractual issue as to like what they can put on. They can't give it to you either by the technology that they have or by contractual obligation. They can't give you what you're looking for. Like, I don't care what channel the games are on. I don't care who is broadcasting it. I just want the right to pick the 4 games I want to watch. So instead, I watch 4 on my big screen TV. I watch 1 on my phone and I watch 1 on an iPad. So normally I'm watching 6 games at once in my living room, which is okay. It's good. It's not awful, but it's, I enjoy it. I'm getting my money's worth for doing that, but I would much rather be able to pick and choose which games I have money on or which games I care about to be on my big screen versus having to find different avenues to watch the thing. So that's my only critique of it, but I think it'll get better. I mean, I'll say this, I don't like Amazon because I don't like the production of Amazon. I think the Amazon games, the audio still sucks. It's still a problem. They still haven't figured out how to do it right, which for the life of me, I can't figure that out. And then I don't know if Al Michaels really wants to do games anymore. I mean, he's like half in, half out.
Think so?
He doesn't seem like he gives a flip anymore. I don't know. Maybe it's working with Herb Street. I don't know what it is, but there's just something about that broadcast that's just a little bit off to me. And because I like the pregame show a lot. I love Krista Thompson, and I think the guys she has on with her are funny, and they do some unique stuff in the post game and whatnot. But the music also needs to change. I'm not a very big fan of the Amazon music, but it's a small, tiny little thing. I haven't had any problems, which I would have been stunned if I did.
Sponsorship right out the.
No, I mean it's fine. I like it. I like the broadcast, but I think there's just some things that need to be tweaked or worked on. It's their second season doing it, so
we're always going to be on late night.
We're changing. I mean, things are changing rapidly. And look, the NBA had made a pretty big comment over the weekend about the fact that kids aren't watching games on cable anymore. And that's a problem. So I think that's a saber rattle by the NBA to start talking about more aggressively. I'm like, they're thinking about giving their entire package to Amazon. Like every NBA game will be on Amazon.
It's all negotiating tactics, employees. It's great.
Yeah.
They can say whatever they want. Nobody's watching it here, so we're going to put it on here. Oh, there. Oh, because they said it. It's true. I don't know.
I mean, could you imagine that, though? Every NBA game being available, there's no longer a local broadcast problem. Because that's one of the issues that we had with Sunday Ticket for a while. You used to black out your local game. They changed that after a couple of years because that was stupid. Like, and the NBA is still doing that. Major League Baseball still does that. Like the MLB package still blacks out.
In a city, they still do that in the NFL.
What? No, I watch the radio games on Sunday Ticket all the time.
They sell out.
No.
Yeah.
There's no sellout requirement anymore. No. You're showing your age. There's no more sellout requirements in the NFL. That's been gone a long time ago.
Really?
That's gone. Yeah, that's gone. They put every game on Sunday Ticket. There's no more blackout restrictions for your home market anymore.
In your home market, it's blacked out.
No.
Not on Sunday Ticket, on the regular cable.
No.
Really?
No, that's gone. That's all. That's when we were growing up. So
you're forced to watch. Nobody wants to go to the game and they don't sell it out.
And you have to watch it.
They still watch it.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay.
There's no more sellout restrictions. That's why you never hear about that anymore. Never hear about ticket sales or, not every game is sold out. It doesn't matter anymore for broadcast rights for the NFL. But the NBA still blocks it out locally. And so does Major League Baseball. I mean, Vegas is claimed by 6 teams as a secondary market. It's the dumbest thing ever. So there's all these different things that are going to happen in the future with these broadcasters and where they're going to put their games, because we've seen it with MLB going down to some of these, what happened in Arizona and other places where the cable network provider just said, or the rights holder just said, we're done. We're bankrupt. We can't pay you. Like, okay, what do we do? Where do we put our games? So that's going to be a fun conversation to see how it goes forward, because there's a lot of regional sports networks that make a lot of money. We had dinner with our friend last week who has two teams on his regional sports networks. A lot of money there, a lot of rights fees being paid, but a lot of money being made as well. So where the NBA looks to put their games, either for all of their games or just their package, is right now being very much debated. What's the right move? What's the correct move? I don't know. Cable is still 70% of people are still on cable watching sports by the latest study I saw. So, cable's not dead yet.
People just want to watch the games. They don't care where they're at. Local teams like Vegas Golden Knights are on regular TV.
No, that's a stream package now.
It's on regular TV. It's on channel 36 on a
No, it's on cable. It's on cable.
Right.
It's not on regular TV. No. It's not over the air broadcast. That's cable. That's a cable channel.
Who is on regular over here? Oh, Suns. The Suns.
Suns are on. Suns are on Rabbit Ears. Yes.
Right. Okay.
Golden
so
Knights.
Teams are going that route.
Yeah, Golden Knights. If you have YouTube, because I have YouTube TV, they don't have the Knights games. You have to subscribe to the Golden Knights streaming service to get those games. They have a streaming service now. It's called Night Vision or Nighttime. Yeah, I think it's called Nighttime. Yeah, I think it's called Nighttime. And you can watch, and they have other things on there. They have other programming on there, but that's a subscription service to watch their games. If you're streaming everything on YouTube TV, that channel is not available.
I was sitting in a sports book 15 years ago going, the only thing people watch live is sports. You see what's going on. They started with the TiVo and then the DVR and all this other stuff. Back in the day, you want to talk about showing your age, when you had to have a big, bulky VHS tape and record it, then watch it like Thursday night TV and fast forward through the commercials back then rewind it rather than go buy a new tape and tape over it over and over and over. I had a VHS tape that was Thursday NBC that would set every week and made sure that was recorded. But, those tapes were expensive. 3 packs of Sony VHS tapes were $10, $9.99. Wasn't getting a new tape every week. So they changed the game, and now the games are the only thing left. Literally, Konowinski just said cable, live sports is all cable has left.
It's all that TV has left.
That's all the TV has left.
That's all TV has left. I mean, it's crazy. I saw Bob Skipper's comments a couple days ago where he said at one point in time, ESPN was more valuable than every single Walt Disney theme park and franchise that it had. ESPN was worth more than everything that Walt Disney and Mickey Mouse had. ESPN was the most valuable at one point in time. It's not that way anymore because of cord cutting and whatnot, but that's, live sports have been the rights fee thing, and now everything else is changing, and rights fees are significant. They're going up, up, up.
Yeah, and the teams aren't doing it. They're doing it themselves. They're putting it on over the air TV in Arizona. It's going to come back.
It's an experiment. I don't think that works, Dave. I know you want it to. It's not going to work. I don't see
streaming's not going to work either. Perrault.
Disagree with you. I totally
disagree.
It's not working
now.
It's working now. It's working fine. It's just going up. I think you're wrong. I think you're going to see.
Wrong.
Okay,
that's why we disagree.
The technology, we're never going backwards. We're going forwards. We're just over the air right now is a stopgap until they figure out ways of making old people in Arizona comfortable with streaming, or they die. That's basically what this is. It's just eventually we're going to have games be pretty on apps only. Like we're not going to have cable. Cable in 20 years is gone. It's the same thing with radio. Radio in 20 years is gone. It's once we get mass Wi-Fi everywhere in America, which is coming.
Right.
Once it's
You're the
high
guy
speed,
that wants a digital wallet too, and you don't.
I
I
do.
mean, you think that's going to work?
I do.
Not
Like,
gonna work.
it's going to happen. It's
Okay.
where we're going to go.
Okay.
There's a lot of Big Brother conversations that have to be had about that and about tracking people.
The same thing with the streaming, Perrault. Use your head. Come on.
No, I
Please.
disagree with that because
You're
streaming,
using all the information on the streaming. Use your head.
yes and no, because
Yes and no. They direct the ads on the streaming.
Correct, but how many
Come
people are
on.
illegally streaming stuff every single day?
Right.
So there's not a lot. So that's not true. You can talk about how people are getting it. You can track some people, but if you illegally stream stuff, which millions of people are doing all the time, you're not getting any data. So
which is why they're going back in a lot of cases, because people will figure out how to illegally stream the games. They can't control it until they can.
well, they can now.
Try.
It's a sunken cost. They control it now. They just they know that a certain number of people are going to watch it illegally, and they just deal with it. Like they would love to stop it, but they can't at the moment. And most of it is for pay-per-view boxing fights and MMA fights. That's really where it is. You can illegally stream Sunday Ticket. You can illegally stream those games, but that's not as nearly of an issue. The loss is not near as big because you're paying $300 for an entire season of the NFL.
You can't rob the corporations for the advertising money. You got to see the big picture.
What do you mean?
If they can't control where they see the games and control the
Sunday
numbers of the people
Sunday Ticket doesn't do that though. Like you aren't seeing a huge difference in advertising during the Sunday Ticket broadcast than you do on a normal broadcast. So it's a little bit of a different. I get what you're trying to say, but it's not really how that's being implemented the same way. There's a different. Google is interested in different things than what DirecTV was interested in. Google, you're right, is more interested in what people are watching and more the overall.
They want the information.
Of course, but they
want your information. That's the only thing they're interested in.
No, I would say the only thing they're interested in, but it's a large thing of what they're interested in. That's true. But there's a lot of things going on inside the broadcast that's different from a YouTube TV standpoint. Like there's almost every game on YouTube TV you're watching on the Sunday Ticket, they put up a moment of Zen, which is a local break. It's a local break that YouTube has not sold.
Right.
They could sell it if they want to, but they haven't sold it as of yet. So it's a local television break that they just cover up with this thing called Your Moment of Zen. Mm-hmm. So so it's different in terms of what YouTube is doing or what Google is doing. They're not selling the same way that DirecTV was selling. DirecTV would sell a local spot and put that directly on during the DirecTV games. So it's not all data is important, but there's other revenue streams, and
data is the most important thing.
Sure, but data is the most important thing in everything. I mean, that's the dirty little secret nobody wants to talk about.
Data is the most important thing in the betting apps.
Yeah, in the world.
Data is the most important thing in the handicapping sites. Data is the most important thing in all of it, including the game broadcast. Let's make that perfectly clear.
Disagree with you because it's more expensive a rights fee is way more than data.
It was.
A rights fee still is. Rights fees still are way more than data. You're paying way more money for a rights fee.
You can say whatever the rights fees are, then the companies just stiff you anyway. They just go out of business. We'll pay the rights fee. We'll put the games on, and then they're gone.
But that's a different story. But but having ESPN's paying the NFL for Monday Night Football, they're not paying them for a rights. They're not paying them for data. They're paying them for the rights to go ahead and do this. Now, the data factor is there. People want to know how long you're watching, when are you watching, where are you watching from. All those things are important and they're sellable items. But the big ticket is paying what you're paying. Amazon's paying $1 billion to the NFL for the rights. Okay.
Yeah, because they know people are watching.
What's Amazon making back on that? I don't know, but they're paying the NFL. The NFL is making $1 billion on 1 week a game.
Okay.
On a 1 week game. It's a lot of money to the NFL that they don't care about the data. That's
Inside
the right
job. Oh, no, they don't care about the data. No.
Well, no.
Move on.
It's $1 billion. What's the NFL caring about? It's $1 billion. They got it in their pocket. You can have your data. We don't care. Mine what you want. That's Amazon's problem, not the NFL's problem.
ESPN's not making any money. They went and started a sports book, for goodness sakes.
Well, they didn't start the book. I mean, you know what I mean? They took the money for that. Okay, so this was something you and I watched the end of this together. Francis Ngannou went overseas, and I was adamant he was going to get his ass kicked.
Oh,
I talked to so many different people, boxing people here that I respect. Everyone was like, this is not going to be pretty. And then Francis Ngannou knocked down Tyson Fury and got robbed by the judges in Saudi Arabia.
Man, oh man.
He won that fight. Tyson Fury won that fight. I mean, Francis Ngannou won that fight. And now, I mean, if you look at their faces this morning, it's crazy. Somebody put up a side-by-side. Ngannou's not even touched. Fury got cut. Fury's fight against Alexander Usyk in December cannot happen now because he was cut. You have a mandatory 6 months. When you get cut in a fight, you can't fight again for 90 days.
That's a gigantic fight, is it not?
Yeah. Tyson Fury said to the reporter yesterday, I'll see you after Christmas. Enjoy your holidays. That fight was supposed to happen in mid-December. He won't be medically cleared for 90 days because he was cut. He was supposed to literally knock him out in 2 seconds. That was supposed to be an easy work day. And Ngannou, if he's in front of other judges, Ngannou he's getting his hand raised in that fight. It was wild to watch it. And a lot of people are going to go, wait a minute. How in the world, if you are a boxing fan, you wanted Fury to lose that fight because there's a 10-8 round in there. I mean, one guy had it 46-43, I think his card was.
In favor of Fury.
In favor of Fury. Yeah, there's no way. There's just no way.
Yeah, it was a 1 point favor for Ngannou, 1 point favor for Fury. And then the decision card was 3 points in favor of Fury. Listen, I wasn't even going to watch it. We were talking about it. I had talked about it with Tyler offline. You know, it's an interest-free loan. You make 7.5%. If you lay $1,400, you make 7.5% on your money in an hour. There's not a place in the world that wouldn't say yes to that. Well, can I lose it? It's almost no chance. It's 99.9% chance you cannot lose it. It's not going to happen. After we ate, and then you went on the wallet search, and
I'm like walking around my house watching the fight on my phone. I'm like searching for it. I'm watching it on my phone, and I'm like, I watched the first round. I'm like, wait a minute, he looks good. Second round happens. I'm like, holy crap. I'm like, Fury looks fat, out of shape, and slow. Third round, bam, drops him. I text you. He dropped him.
I'm waiting for you to come back. I'm watching Georgia kill Florida. The afternoon session of the college football was ho-hum, boring as hell. Blowout after Notre Dame was killing Pitt. All these games we talked about on Friday, they all ended up being blowouts. And you're like, all the text said was he dropped them. And I knew that didn't mean Fury dropped Ngannou. All it said was he dropped him. And I'm like, oh, he's going to make me watch this fight. So I turn it on. I see the replay of the knockdown. I'm like, all right, we got to fight. Like, this guy came to fight. I'm watching the fourth to the fifth. You ate there at the house shit. I'm like, oh my. Like, this is getting serious. And then all the women come back from, you know, my daughter, your daughter, and my wife went shopping for stuff, and I don't even know where they went. I didn't say nothing.
Right.
So I was at home watching the fight and I had the football game on mute. And I'm like, man, and I'm watching the live number. And it was like, it was minus 300 Fury, and then it was minus 125. And I was like, oh no. Like, and then you walked in the door and you looked at me and you're like, he could lose. And I'm like, he could lose. He could lose. So like two jagoffs, we're sitting on a couch 8 feet apart, watching it on your phone, watching it on my phone. Two idiots with the sound on both. You're like 30 seconds behind me. So I'm watching it, and I mute mine because I'm listening to yours. And I'm like, this could happen. And then the girls all walked in.
Yeah.
Chaos ensued. And we stood up, and I said, well, what do you think? And you're like, he can't win a decision. They won't give it to him.
Yeah, Ngannou can't win the decision.
Yeah, you said it. You said it right then. You're like, they won't let him win a decision. And I was like, man, I don't know. He could have won that fight. This is going to be a draw. And right? That's what I was like,
that's what I said. I said there's a good shot it's going to be a draw because it's going to be split, and then someone's going to go 45-45, and they're going to say it's a draw.
And then I could live with that. This felt like this. I put it up, robbed, jobbed, or boxing, bro, and everybody put all the above. It was robbed, jobbed, and it's just boxing, isn't it?
Yeah. After the fight, Ngannou said, quote to MMAfighting.com, if he's being honest, he would say, I won that fight. I won that fight. There's not a question about it. And even being here, I knew if this fight goes to the decision, I'm not winning. Not because I didn't do good, because I'm the new guy in the house. I come here and I just want to kick into people's business. Essentially saying, that guy's the moneymaker. I'm not. I'm the MMA guy. I can't win. Canelo 4.0. It was the same thing. Fury has a multi-million-dollar fight for his belts, the linear champion, heavyweight championship of the world against Alexander Usyk is already booked. It's waiting there in December. The fact that this fight got put before it was hubris. It was disrespectful. And I am part of it because I said he's just trying to do a quick $25 million payday. He's just trying to cash in on the money over in Saudi Arabia, and that's it. There's no way Tyson Fury is going to have any trouble with Francis Ngannou. I don't think he trained a lick, Dave. I don't think he trained a lick. I don't think he watched.
Puffy after.
He elbowed him, Dave.
He did.
Fury threw a damn elbow at Ngannou.
And nobody even said anything.
5th round, go back and watch the replay. He throws a punch and he clips him with his elbow. And Fury, Ngannou eats it like it was nothing. He was like, yeah. And he didn't even swell. Like his face is fine. Massive black eye. Big cut in the forehead for Fury. Man, Ngannou showed himself. I was stunned. I was absolutely wrong. And I owe Ngannou an apology. He won that fight. He won that fight.
Tyler's in the chat. Tyler Wyatt. You guys should follow him at Tyler Wyatt Bets. I think it's Tyler Wyatt Bets. I can't keep track now because he got banned. But he said, where's the quote? Hold on, Tyler. I was 2 corrupt judges away from having to get a normal job.
Right? I mean, it's he was, I'm sure that he wasn't alone with people just went ahead and went all in, dumped all in on Fury winning that fight.
Put him in the parlays, just put the 1,400 at the bottom of the parlay.
I told people on the juice, I said, go ahead. I go, if you want to put, if you took a -165 favorite and added the Fury by just winning by money line and -1,400, you got even money on all your bets.
Right.
It eliminated all the juice. You could have just lined them up. You could have gone. And if you had done that, your whole day could have been wiped out. If you had gone like 3-0, you could have got wiped out because Fury lost the fight.
Which is why you had asked me Friday why you can't parlay it. I think that was Friday on the show, or did you ask me
Saturday? Saturday morning, I asked you.
Yeah. You said, why can't they do that? That's why.
Certain books weren't. There was a book that wasn't allowing me to parlay.
Just do straight bets. That's fine. We don't need you to parlay it and do all that other stuff. Although that would have broken some people. That would have broken
baby.
Some people.
That was so. The answer is boxing, bro, because the corruption is unbelievable. Even in Saudi Arabia, anywhere you go, it's awful.
Was it more so because it was over there?
I don't know. It's a good question. I asked that question to somebody on Twitter. I said, "Who is the boxing commission over there?" Like,
you asked me that on Saturday. Yeah. I'm like, I don't have a clue. What are you talking?
Who's the? It's like, who is? Because I know, like in Nevada, we have the Nevada Gate, we have the Nevada, Sports Commission.
Right.
So like we know that Bob Bennett, we know the people who are ahead of it. Like I know the people who run it. Like I know that in New Jersey, we know the people who run it. Like the Jersey Sports Commission. Like we know this. Who is it in Riyadh? like who
I don't know. You asked me, and then I swear you got on your phone. I'm like, I was thinking in my head, I'm like, is he looking it up? Is he trying to find if there's?
I was trying to find out. I was curious. I wanted to know who's the boxing commission over there, because that's as corrupt gets. He had a 10-8 round. Like, how does he lose 46-43? He can't. It doesn't equate. That scorecard doesn't make any sense. It's just
that would only give him one more round. If he had a 10-8 round, that would only give him one more round at 46-43. 10-round fight.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
How's that possible?
I don't know.
I watched that fight. He won more than one round.
Fury didn't land anything. On top of that, Fury just looked sloppy. Like he just, Ngannou he just stood in front of him and just was like, he ate his punches and was like, whatever, bro. I get hit with 4-ounce gloves. These are 10-ounce gloves. This is nothing. Like, I'm good. Like, this is not even. I want to see Ngannou box again.
Football guy 97 just came in a chat and said you need to listen to Bernard Hopkins talk on Joe Rogan's pod about all this stuff. What did he say? Football guy
guessing
97.
that boxing is the most corrupt sport that there is, and he's right. It is. I mean, it's just if you're betting on an underdog to win a fight, you have to bet the knockout. Don't bet by decision. Guy's not winning. Canelo's never losing a decision in Vegas. I mean, like he lost. Actually, well, he did lose one, right? He lost to Bivol. He did lose one, but it wasn't for his belts. It was when he went up a weight class, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But if there is a money-making fighter with something on the line, if a decision goes against him, will break someone's, bottom line, ain't happening. The judges know what to do. Whether they're on the take or not, the judges know what to do. They know who to award fights to.
Wow.
It's awful. And MMA is similar, but it's a little different because MMA isn't so beholden to one or two top level guys.
Wait,
boxing.
J. Dow Betts just came in a chat and said Furyk Usyk is also in Saudi Arabia. Is this true?
I believe so. Yeah, I think that's true. Yeah, that's right. Because they built that facility for boxing for Fury's fights. So yeah, I could buy that. But it won't happen in December now. It's gonna happen.
What do they care when it happens? They already got that. There was no way they were going to let him lose unless Ngannou knocked him the hell out.
The belts, but he could have still lost. Fury could still lost. Nothing was on the line for Tyson Fury in that fight. That was a pure professional exhibition. The Usyk fight is for 4 belts. So the Usyk fight is being governed by a much different commission than what's being governed. Like there's a whole different, you have 4 different boxing entities with their belts on the line. There's a lot more cooks in the kitchen for that fight than there was for Ngannou Fury. This was supposed to be easy. This was supposed to be a layup for Tyson Fury. And it wasn't. Everybody was in on that except for Francis Ngannou. Everyone said it was supposed to be easy, except for the guy who got into the ring and said, "Yeah, I come from the sand mines of Cameroon. I'm not here to play around with anybody. Let's go." And that's what Ngannou said in an interview after the fight. I think it was yesterday. They asked him, "Why did you dance when he knocked him down? Why did you dance?" And he said, "Because the first thing he said to me when the bell rang was, 'Let's go to school.'" And he said, "Okay." And then he was dancing over and he goes, "Who's in school now?" Because he was on the ground.
That's why I love sports. I love sports because you can win. It's hard. I mean, I don't think you can win in boxing unless you knock the guy out. But like in sports, you can have everything going against you and you can still win sometimes. It's unbelievable.
Eric Nissick, Dewey Cooper, 2 incredible MMA and boxing coaches here in Las Vegas. Ngannou's corner. Eric runs Extreme Couture here in town. Dewey Cooper is an unbelievable striking coach here in town. They took Ngannou and they did an amazing job with him. They took a guy who had never boxed professionally and put him up against the heavyweight champion of the world and won. The judges didn't say so, but he won. Like it's just incredible work what the guys have been doing in just with so many interesting characters and
so is he going to do it again?
There's
Ngannou's going to fight more now, right?
There's a potential, yeah. I'd be curious. So Sean Strickland is he's a middleweight champion of the world right now. Right? He is also Eric Nissick's student. He's his coach. He's got a huge fight. He's got big fights coming up in the MMA world. Now, coaches can be in both places, but we're looking at a training camp for. There could be a rematch for Ngannou if the Usyk fight gets delayed dramatically. That rematch could actually happen.
Another general fight. Like I want to see Ngannou fight again now. The curiosity has been cured.
Yeah,
I want to see him fight again.
He may fight Fury again. He may
fight Fury. I don't care if he fights Fury again. I want to see him fight somebody again.
Somebody, right?
I agree. Again.
Well, he wants to go
more of a circus, and it's not. Like the guy fought.
Yeah, he's going back to MMA. He said yesterday he's going to fight MMA again. He's not done with that, but he wants to try the payday. I mean, the rematch against Fury could make him $25 million.
Oh, well, let's get the money. Let's always get the bag first.
Right. So that rematch might be enormous to go ahead and fight Fury. So we'll watch on that. Yep. Okay, college football. Mm-hmm. There are 5 teams, 1 through 5, who are all 8-0. Yes, How many run the table in your mind?
Who are they?
So we'll start with the number 1 team in the country, Georgia.
I don't know. They're most likely to do it.
Okay. Given their schedule, I agree. Michigan's number 2.
Oh, they play Ohio State. So one of them.
are out, right?
Are out, not doing it.
Because that's number 3. Florida State's number 4.
I mean, their schedule looks like they actually have a shot at doing it.
And Washington's number 5.
They're not doing it.
They're not doing it. Okay. So
I don't think so.
So that means of the 5 teams that are right now undefeated, 2 of them are already in. 2 of those 5 are in. So we already have 2 spaces accounted for in the playoff.
I would say yes.
And one of them is not for the Big 12.
No, Big 12. Bye-bye.
Because Oklahoma was their best chance. And then KU went ahead and shocked the world. Do you like tearing down the goalposts?
I saw it happen in person. It's a little bit alarming.
A little bit. It's when it comes down, it's scary.
It's that's a good word for it. Yeah,
it's a big piece of metal.
Listen,
fast.
Sorry, Will. It's fucking stupid. Let's just put it that way. But it's fun to watch from a distance.
Yeah.
When you're in there and you ain't doing it, it's scary as hell. When you got friends that are down there doing it, you're like, what in the world are they doing? Then they had to put in those collapsible things and whatever. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when they weren't collapsible.
Right. I think if I was at school, that's what I would do. I would just, if I won, drop the things right to the ground. Like just down.
Right. Yeah,
down.
just
like,
down. That's all.
That's it. They're down already. Because I guess there's a big tradition at Kansas. There's a pond on campus.
Yes.
They go ahead. They've been doing it since like the 1940s or something.
Yeah.
They rip the goalpost down and they chuck the thing in. But like kids get hurt every time they do it. Kids get hurt.
Yeah, silly.
It's a big piece of lumber, a big piece of metal they're carrying across campus, and they chuck it in. And as they're throwing it in, it hurts people just getting the thing into the lake.
E-Dubs in the chat said, what did I say about that Kansas money line on Friday? E-Dubs said it. We said it. A lot of people said it, that they were live to win the game.
Yep.
That was awesome. I was at Penn State when they beat Notre Dame on the road. The kids went into the stadium, took the goalpost down, and he took it to Jopa's house and put it on his lawn.
At Penn State on the road?
Penn State was on the road.
You tore it on
won
your
the game
goalpost?
against Notre Dame because they were number 1.
Right.
I believe it was 1989 or 9.
Wow.
I can't remember. They got in the stadium. They took the goalpost down on the student section end. I don't know how they did it.
Wow.
They got out and they carried it to Jopa's house and put it on the front lawn. Like, that's a long walk. Carry that thing. I don't know how they did it. I don't know how they did it in that lake.
You're pulling up.
Did you see that lake? Did you see a picture of that?
Yes.
You're frozen. Oh, you're back. Okay.
Yes.
How much money would it take? Friend of the show, Parker Lewis, who has a BVB hat and had the BVB hat in Kansas City.
Oh, nice.
At the Chiefs game 2 weeks ago, posted a picture of him on the field at the Chiefs game. Asked on Twitter, how much would it take for you to go in that water on Saturday? When it was 40 degrees at kick and it got worse. They had to stop the game because of lightning. It was cold.
Right, it was 38 degrees with lightning.
Breath.
That's Kansas for you. 38 degrees with lightning.
Yeah. Would you go in that water? He said 10 times he'd go in the water.
It's a lot of
10
money
times.
to go in the water.
You don't like the cold plunge in your backyard in Vegas.
It's 50. I'm going in 52-degree water right now. So I don't know. Like, it's really not fun. Cold water is really not fun. Fully clothed on, maybe I'd go in there. I don't know. Just getting out.
You do it for 100,000?
Yes. I do a lot of things for $100,000. Way worse.
That's your
than that.
number?
All I gotta do is I do it for I'll probably do it for $1,000.
$1,000 cash. You go freeze yourself in that water.
Sure. $1,000. Yeah. You show me $1,000 cash, I'm jumping in the water. Yeah. It's easy.
It's a hard pass for me.
$1,000. That's easy. That's nothing. That's easy money right there. So Colorado's 4-4. Will they win another game? They lost to UCLA.
Right there, right?
This is the schedule. Home against number 16, Oregon State. Home against Arizona, who's playing incredible ball right now.
Yes.
At Washington State and at number 18, Utah. 4-8 is really possible. They're going to squeak over the number. Number was 3.5.
It's a good number.
Squeak over it.
Right?
They're not going to a bowl game.
What are they this week at home?
They got to be home dogs by at least a touchdown.
I'd say it's higher than that. It's got to be double digits. 13.5 or 13.
DJU going into Boulder.
Coming off a loss at Arizona. I mean, maybe they win one more. Can they win at Washington State? That's going to be a tough spot.
Tough spot. Bet the
I don't
over.
think they beat Arizona.
Nope. And that's their home schedule. That would be that would be loss at home, and then on the road at Washington State, and then they would know that they'd be 4-6. They have to win out to become bowl eligible. And at Washington State, that's
they ain't going to no bowl game.
So
I don't think so.
I think they lose out. I think they're going 4-8. And it's going to be Dion already threw his whole offensive line under the bus.
I'm going to get new linemen. That's what I'm doing. How about that?
His son got hurt. His son needed an injection after the game. His son got beat up so badly that he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna start with that line. We're gonna go get a whole new offensive line."
As good as Oregon is, and their defense is, UCLA's defense is probably the best defense in the Pac-12.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really tough. They're physical. Chip's got them playing. They're fun to watch. Offensively, they're okay, but defensively, they're a tough team to go up against. And then one more college. The NFL has told Houston, University of, to stop wearing the Oiler throwback colors.
Yeah, I have every iteration that was put out of the Oiler oil derrick. This is one of my favorite all-time best sports emblems, sports team colors combination. Right. They were the Steelers' rival as a kid growing up in the 70s. Love You Blue, Bum Phillips were coming through the door. We're barging through. We're knocking it down, whatever he used to say.
Right.
I thought they were the coolest team in football other than the Steelers. I thought Earl Campbell was the best running back I've ever seen. Saw him one time in person. I could not believe that his legs were actually not tree trunks put on the bottom of a guy. I love the Oiler uniforms. If I was Houston, I would say, you know what? I'm wearing them. What are you going to do? What are they going to do?
Sue them.
They're going to sue them.
Mm-hmm. They sent a cease and desist letter. Say, if you don't stop using that, we're going to sue you.
The NFL,
yes,
is going to they're going to sue a college.
Yep,
they don't have enough money. They don't. That this is so they're going to go after them for wearing a likely likeness of a uniform of a team that don't exist no more.
Correct.
In their city where they play, it ain't like it's Montana State doing it. It's the University of Houston.
According to the letter written to Houston from the lawyers, they said that Houston is, quote, blatantly copying the Oilers jerseys, and it was grounds for legal action, and it demanded that the university discontinue any sales of merchandise and remove any promotional or social media posts that feature the imagery.
So the hype video got to come down?
Yep, all of it.
Really?
The attorney, the Houston Cougars' attempt to free ride on the popularity of the NFL and the club violates the intellectual property of the NFL and the Tennessee Titans.
The Titans wouldn't wear it until the NFL said it was okay, and they're wearing it. That's okay. They were going to let Houston Texans wear it, and they said,
No, they did wear it.
The Texans wore it?
Yeah, Texans wore it. Yeah, Texans wore it. Oh, yeah.
Before?
No, this year. This year. The Texans and the Titans have both worn it. They have both worn the throwbacks this season.
Really?
That's why the NFL. Remember, I went off on it on the show. I said the dumbest thing in the world. You can't have both teams in the NFL wearing the throwback to the Houston Oilers. I thought the Titans were wrong to wear it. I don't think the Titans should wear it. They left. It should be left for the Texans. If they want to wear it, let them wear it because they're in Houston.
Wow.
Both have used it. And now the NFL is saying, wait. We want our money. If you want to use this, you better pay us for the rights to use it. And Houston's like, no, we're not paying you. We're going to go ahead and use it because we're in Houston. It's a crazy story.
If I put it close enough to the screen, do you think they'll send us a cease and desist letter?
No, because you paid for that hat. If you were selling that hat, if that hat said BVB on the side and you were selling that hat, 100%, they would be after us.
Right here, sir.
Yes, 100%, they would be sending us letters saying, do not do that anymore.
Would they really?
Yep.
I'm going to Lids right after the show.
Lids won't do it. He won't do it.
BBB on
I've asked him. No, you've already bought the hat. You've already bought the hat. But there's certain things that they won't do. Like you can't, they don't have the likeness for certain things. If my daughter has asked for different things and they're saying we can't do that. We can't put that logo on there.
We got guys. Don't worry about it.
We can do that because we own our logo. BVB is ours.
We got guys.
So we have the rights to it.
That's crazy. That doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem fair.
It's not.
We got a great question from Joe the Fat Panda.
Okay.
Joe the Fat Panda is in the chat. He's
Hi,
watching
Joe.
the show. Joe the Fat Panda. I love the screen name. Two, thank you for participating in the show. He said, Edmonton or Houston, which Oiler uni is better?
Old school Houston Oilers.
I think I'm going to throw it to the chat.
I don't like the big, because they wore them last night for the Oilers.
Those were the outdoor game ones. That was not good. The old school
right?
jersey, Edmonton.
What's with that
Oiler,
big?
Wayne
Why is
Gretzky.
everything a drip? Why is everything a drip of oil with
It's a
them?
big drip of oil.
It just looks weird to me. It's a strange representation of what an Oiler is. It's too on the nose.
It's just a thing.
I know, but it's too on the nose for me. I don't know. It's just strange. I love that. What's that called again? The
oil derrick.
Thank you. Yes, that thing's
oil
cool.
derrick.
I like it. That's cool. That's a unique way of doing it. That's representation. Okay, that's a good representation of what oil. Fine. Oilers are actual oil.
Yeah,
it's weird.
If I'd have known that question was coming, I would have had an Edmonton Oiler hat, which I also have, which I think is a really cool uniform. The Gretzky ones, that era, Messier,
right.
Grant Fuhr, Paul Coffey, Andy Moog, Yari Curry, that whole thing was
I can't believe
awesome.
how cold it was there last night. It's already freezing there in Alberta. It's
This
already
is that time of year. Listen, 42 here this morning when I went outside.
Yeah, it's cold here right now.
42 felt cold.
It was cold up there. I mean, it was.
Yeah, trick or treating tomorrow are going to be cold.
It looked like it was it was mid-January up there. I was like, it's October.
Well, it's cold
right?
up there. Yeah, this is we forget that living in Vegas. It's cold in places now. It's cold up there. It's cold in places back east. Didn't look cold over the weekend though. They had a great weekend back east, but it's coming, boys and girls.
It was weird. It was
strange.
Winds blowing 80 in Boston. 80.
Yeah, that don't make no sense. That makes no sense at all because it was 40 here this morning when I woke up. Went outside. I said, Kendall, you better have a hoodie on. Or
here right now. It's cold here right now.
Well, the high today is only 64.
Yeah.
The high. But the overnight low is 40, 42.
Woo!
You go out in the morning, tell the kids, listen, bundle up because it's going to be cold down at the bus stop. Yeah.
It's gonna stink going in there.
Everyone to a person in the chat said the Houston Oilers.
Yeah. Easy. I agree.
I don't think that was even a fair fight.
Monday Night Football. I'm wearing this. This is a shirt that's being sold here locally by the Hard Knocks DJs, which is really kind of funny. I saw that. I was like, send it to me. I'll wear it on the show. So I sent it to me. So we'll wear it on the show. Las Vegas Ragers is what this says. Ragers, not Raiders.
What the hell?
We're
going to get a cease and desist order for that.
Las Vegas Ragers. Lions are not losing tonight, Dave. Raiders are on a back-to-back. This is my favorite fade spot of the season so far in the NFL. It's now gone. I've gone 3-0 doing it so far, betting against teams on a second game of a roadie.
The Raiders Monday. On the second game of a roadie. The Lions home off of a beatdown from the Ravens.
Yep.
Are you concerned about the Ravens stat? The team the week after they play the Ravens, they don't win or they don't cover or both?
No. Home crowd. Raiders defense is atrocious. Can't stop anybody. Jimmy G is coming back. I think this game actually goes over. I think this is actually a scoring game. This is actually a game that actually does have points.
We've got to rely on the Raiders to score.
Mm-hmm. Because the Lions are scoring a lot. Lions are putting up 30. It's a question of whether or not they're going to give up that many to the Raiders.
Wow. I don't think the Lions are losing the game. A lot of rhombuses and parallelograms are on the dog. Keep driving that number down. It's painted 7 now.
Yep.
Don't
hate that.
Apparently a lot of injuries
4
on the Lions offense.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterbacks there, receivers still
good
there.
Good luck with that. I don't want nothing to do with the Raiders.
No.
Said this before. Say it again. If you'd like to take the Raiders, the books are open, the windows are open, and enjoy. There's
Yeah,
no
Montgomery is out. Amon-Ra St. Brown's questionable. Don't care. I mean, this defense is really bad for the Raiders. They're 1-3 on the road so far this year. Their only win on the road was kind of a stunning opener win against the Broncos. Since then, they've lost to the Bills 38-10, the Chargers 24-17, the Bears 30-12.
we just got a nice, huge influx of people, probably all coming on to see who we're picking for Monday Night Football and then using it for their own purposes, which we appreciate. If you guys are coming in just for the picks, you've picked the perfect time, usually about 10 to 15 minutes before we're done with the replay version of the show, which airs every night on Sports Grid TV all over, all the streamings, all the different things. It's on SiriusXM tonight, so you can listen to it later to hear whether we're right or we're wrong. Just at least, wait for some props. Maybe we'll have those, but you got to stay for BVB bonus time. We're not giving you those. You got to stay after the fact right here on the YouTube. Again, appreciate you guys all being here. Hit the like button while you're here. That's all we have. You don't have to subscribe. If you subscribe, you'll never miss the show, and you'll know exactly when to come and catch the picks at the end of the show, along with the best thing about today, which is at the end of every show as well. Stay for that. Ask the chat. Big group of people. Lions -7, Raiders +7. Who do you got? Put it in there right now.
I don't trust either one.
There's a hell of a lot of hockey games that feel like there's a much better betting opportunity tonight.
Well, let's talk baseball first. Game 3.
Oh, wait. Yeah. The World Series is tonight, too?
If the World Series.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Why is Max favored?
Why not?
Why not? Have you seen his last 2 starts and you see Font at home?
Do you know who Max Scherzer is? Did you
I don't care who he is. I know what he looks like right now. He looks horrible. This makes no sense. This number is not
biased. What are you
This
talking
number is bizarre. Absolutely bizarre.
Is it?
Brandon Font's been phenomenal for the D-backs. They're at home.
Rookie.
He's a rookie. I don't care. He's a rookie. Max might be washed.
Very good point.
I mean,
this is not the way people bet, though.
What? Whoa. Okay. Total 9.5. Highest.
The chat is flowing, by the way. For those of you not watching it live on the YouTube channel, you're unable to see this. I will just be happy to report that every single person put Lions -7. We did not get one Raiders.
It might be that easy.
It might be that easy. The Chargers were that easy last night.
Yeah, it might be that easy. I mean, look, they did
have given away the Bears last night for free.
The Raiders had a quote team meeting to air out all their grievances, and Josh McDaniels, the Raiders, supposedly Josh just sat there and everything was on the table. You could say whatever you want about whatever topic you wanted. Those aren't always the best situations when that happens. Guys, if you need that, it shows you where you're at. It shows you how bad things are. Things are a mess in Vegas.
Love it. Stuff out.
But sometimes sometimes you hear stuff you weren't aware of or didn't know or weren't ready to hear, or it creates more problems. Oh, I can rip apart a team, though. That may not galvanize a team. That might rip a team apart.
If you have to have a in-person, air it out meeting,
right?
You ain't a team.
Fair. Yeah, they're already broken.
Already at that point, the fact that it needs to be said like that and clear to air, there's already a problem.
Yeah.
You're not going to discover anything new. You might hear something new.
Right.
But there's obviously stuff going on. There's not many winning teams that have
fair.
Right?
100%.
And you ain't winning.
Right.
You got to have these air it out meetings.
Right. Yeah. It's not good for the Raiders by any means. Okay, for tonight, though.
Baseball.
I like the D-backs tonight.
Do you?
I'm not betting it, but I'm going to look for it in game.
We're going over tonight, no?
It leans that way. It's the highest total so far of the 3 games, but it didn't
Game
go over
one
last time.
over?
Yes.
Game 2 go over?
No.
Game 2 went over.
No, it didn't. It was 7-1 final, I thought. Wasn't the final 7-1?
What?
Thought it was 7-1 final.
Hold on.
What was the final score? I stopped watching. It was 7-1, but I thought it was 7-1 final.
I want to shout out my buddy too, Hayden Lisanic.
Mhm.
Hayden, I met yesterday in a sporting goods store close to here, and he walked in handing out some ball hockey information. It
Okay.
was pretty interesting.
Ball hockey. You mean hand hockey?
No.
It was 9-1 final. Okay, did go
Hockey
over.
on your feet, 9-1. There you
9-1.
go.
Okay,
Yeah.
ball. So street hockey.
Street hockey on a court.
We don't
And
call
we're
it ball
talking
hockey.
about
That's still
sponsoring something on the show.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's men's leagues, kids leagues, all these things. He's trying to get it out there in Vegas. Wanted to
Cool.
shout him out. He had a Circus Sports shirt on.
Nice.
So we start talking.
I love street hockey. I was so good at street
It
hockey.
was well, you could probably run back in the day. That was
I can
good.
still run. I mean, back in the day, I can still run. Come on now.
I'm
I
just
way
saying.
more. I way more now
The
too.
entire chat put 9-1 in the
9-1.
thing.
Sorry, I thought it was
But
7.
no,
Okay, so it went
but-
over. So both games have gone over. Yep.
Right. So he said anyhow, we talked and I mentioned we might have a sponsorship opportunity to
Let's do
promote local tournaments.
Be fun.
And I just wanted to shout him out. Baseball game tonight. I think we know what we get from Fought.
A good start.
Well, we get a lot of swings and misses, but we also get somebody's hitting a home run tonight.
Okay, fair.
That's what he gives up. Gives up home runs. If he pitches at all, like he has in the postseason, which you would have to believe that he's going to, we don't get a sustained inning rally by Texas. They don't have a big inning. They have one bomb, maybe hit a 2-run bomb or a 3-run bomb. If they get a hit or two, a walk, something, and then somebody runs into one. So the game, automatic thought is just going over because of Scherzer.
Right. No, I agree. I mean, also,
Scherzer wins the series tonight for Texas with a good outing.
we'll find out whether the Rangers are actually a road team or was that just the Houston series. They win game 3. This is a pivotal game in this 7-game series. You go to Arizona, you win the first game, you win game 3, you take back home field. They may not go back to Texas. They just go and do what they did to the Astros and go ahead and win all the games on the road.
Right.
Which would be stunning, but I mean, that's what this team has done on the road. They've been just unbelievable. So I lean Diamondbacks. I'm not betting it for that reason because we're going to learn a lot about the Rangers tonight.
Right. Well, I mean, there's only a few games left. At least by splitting the games there, we are sure that we're getting all 3 games in Arizona.
Right.
Which, by the way, you're on high alert. You'll be the second person I call
Okay.
to let you know that I'll be in Arizona for
Okay.
the game. Sonic
Tonight or tomorrow?
Or not tonight. Tonight's out.
On Halloween, you're going to the game?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope,
In the first,
nope.
game 5.
I mean,
Okay.
if I go on Halloween, the locks are getting changed, and I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to get a place to stay. And I kind of
Yeah.
like the house, so I
Yeah.
can't do it. But game 5 on Thursday or on Wednesday is a very real possibility. Just putting that
Okay.
out right now.
Okay,
So we might
cool.
have to move the time of the show.
That's fine.
I don't have a clue. I'm never happier than I am right now that I have both sides of this
Right.
exacta.
Exactly.
Because we're 2 games in, and I still don't know who's winning this thing.
Fair.
I don't.
Books don't either. It's tough.
The books don't care. At this point, they're good. It's
Right.
it's baseball, bro. Nobody's betting.
They want
Nobody's
the
watching.
but the books
Keep
want the
going,
Diamondbacks. The books have all reported that D-backs winning is a very good result. They would be very happy for Arizona to win the World Series,
Be good for a lot of people if you know what I'm saying.
including you. Before we let go of Sports Grid, have you seen these courts yet for the new in-season tournament for the NBA?
No.
All right, give me your ruling. This is the New Orleans Pelicans in-season tournament court. It's purple.
Where's this being played?
All in the home courts. This is the home court for New Orleans.
I thought
They
they're
only
doing
play-
this in Vegas.
The Final Four is in Vegas. They play the first rounds on home courts.
So
Sure.
this is purple with that big green stripe in the whole middle?
Correct. That's the Pelicans.
Sorry, Will. We waited this long. We did a clean show, but that is shit.
So
Do you like that?
There's red. I don't know what to make of it. Here's the Sixers. It's red. The court is red.
Now that I kind of like.
You do? That hurts my eyes, man.
See, I don't know if I could play on I don't know about playing on that. How's that going to look on TV? Red on anything on TV looks terrible.
Bad. It's the hardest color for TV to replicate. Yep, absolutely. Celtics looks like this.
I mean, that's tolerable.
I don't like this at all.
It's terrible, but it's tolerable.
I don't like it at all. I don't like it at all. And then the Lakers, I don't like the Lakers one either.
Is that gold?
Yep, gold and purple.
Can't we just make the lanes a color like
I would agree.
Just make what do we need to stripe all the way through for?
Well, I'm okay with the stripe. It's everything else around it. It's just the fact that it's bright yellow. This is bright red. Like that's
going to look terrible on television.
Red. I mean,
yellow's going to look terrible on television.
Pelicans.
The green being that bright there is going to look terrible on television. I'm not a TV executive. I don't even try to play one on TV, but those look like, again, sorry, Will, those look like shit.
So there are
Does anyone in the chat like any of those?
Go look. Every team's got it. There's a whole 30 of them. The NBA's tweeted them all out. You can see them all. They're all in some iteration like that, but the colors are all over the place. This is like getting the kids to buy the jersey, right? This is the new look. This is trying to make the games more exciting because they're not regular season games now. These games are counting towards the in-season tournament.
Do you remember when it was cool to go watch the game on TV with Boise State playing on a blue field?
Yes, right. And then
you know how it's not cool anymore because they don't play good. Nobody cares.
Like in the red field at Eastern Washington.
That's impossible to watch on television.
It stinks. It's awful.
Impossible. I mean, I don't know. I find there's not a person in the chat. Oh no. The Juice said he loves the Celtics one.
Oh, okay.
What? Really?
I mean, I guess. Yeah.
Awful. Those are all bad. None are worse than the blue field in Boise. I don't know, bro.
No ducks are going to die with this one, though. At least ducks aren't going to be suicide diving thinking they're going into water.
Right.
So we don't have that to worry about. Golden State's on the road at New Orleans. Speaking of the Pelicans tonight, Golden State's a road dog.
Yeah, guess who's not playing?
Anyone. No,
I don't even have to ask.
Just Steph's not playing. Yeah, okay.
Right. Breaking news.
Steph's not playing.
Why would he?
But I mean, I don't know.
They said they were going to play too. Like that's the thing. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing.
They're going to play more. You mean?
Yeah, like the reports came out that the Warriors were going to play more. For the team, for this, for each other, for that.
Yeah. So Clay.
Don't say nothing.
Steph. I think Steph is playing. Game time. Clay's a game time decision. Draymond Green's a game time decision, which lead me to believe that they're out. 2-0 on the road for the Warriors. 2-0 overall. 1-0 at home for the Pelicans. Game's on NBA TV tonight, so you got a nationally televised game if you want to watch that tonight for the Warriors and the Pelicans, which could be a better game than the football game. So you've got nationally televised baseball, nationally televised basketball, nationally televised hockey. There's a lot of competition tonight for the NFL here on Monday night. Although no, so there is no nationally televised hockey game. Sorry, I thought there was. There's not. There's just baseball and basketball on national TV tonight. If you want to watch that. Any concern about what's going on with Milwaukee and Dame? Scored 6 points in the last game, and Milwaukee got absolutely throttled.
What would be the concern?
Just
not as good as they thought, or what would be the concern?
That maybe it may not work. I mean, it's gonna take a long time to
Game
work.
Number 2.
They got a gel. It take time for the guys to get together. They lost 127-110 at home. Hawks killed them. Hawks. Dame scored 6 points. It's early. Did you see
Flav didn't play?
Right. Do you see Flair Flav do the national anthem?
I didn't make it through the whole thing.
It's so bad. Who okayed that? Who was like, this is a good idea. Let's go ahead and have Flavor Flav sing the national anthem. I thought it was a joke. I was like, he just don't stop rapping, right? Like, this is like a rap version of the national anthem. Like, what's going? He actually sung the whole thing.
I used to sing to the kids at night. Jess worked overnights, and I had a lot of nights where I had to put the babies to sleep and then get up with them and all this other stuff. Couldn't think of songs. I used to sing Motown to them all the time, a little Temptation.
You sing the national anthem? Wait, what?
Sang the national anthem over and over and over. Used to do it fast.
That's
used
awesome.
to do it slow. Just begging them to go back to sleep.
I remember those.
And the Rockets. Oh, you're just like, please, 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 please. But it was the only, like, at 2:30 in the morning,
Right. Your brain's
knowing
done.
I had to get up at 6 to get to work by 7 and open a book and everything. You just grab them and start singing. I much favor O Canada. I love O Canada. I think that's the best anthem.
Oh, careful.
And every time
can't say
I
that
heard O
here.
Canada, it was a big hockey game.
Right.
So I used
Because
to
they put it on TV. Right. That's when they aired the double anthem when it's a big game.
Oh, and then
You know,
like,
it's a big game when you get double anthem. Yeah.
Used to get me and my brother so excited when we went to the games. Like the first time I heard O Canada when I was playing, I was 6. We went up to Niagara Falls and played in a hockey tournament. And I thought, this is amazing. I was standing on the bench going, this is awesome. Does anyone else hear this? And everybody was all standing straight. Meanwhile, I'm like, this is good. This is good. So I love the national anthem, but Flavor Flav, no good. That was
No
good. That wasn't good.
Sports Grid and Sirius XM, thank you for being here. We are back tomorrow. If you are live on YouTube or Twitter at Boston versus the Book, don't move. You guys get bonus time. Utah is at Denver tonight.
How
Denver
good is Denver?
This is the number, though, right? I'm in gaming this. I'm 100% hoping the number comes down to 5 or 6, and I'm going to take Denver. I want under 7 for Denver, but I like Denver to win this game relatively easily in the second half.
Crunchy came in the chat and said, I knew Dave was a commie.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? I love the United States. I love the Star Spangled Banner, but Canada's a better song. It's a better song.
Oh, told you. You got to be careful where you say that too. You say that.
Woo!
Utah covering this 8.5.
Denver first half has been an absolute just like lay down.
Mm-hmm.
You don't like to lay 8.5 pregame, lay to 4, 4.5. I think you could lay 4. Don't lay more than 4. That's 2 buckets. You might push. Denver first half has been good. They let a lead get, they come back to the pack in the third quarter, and then they just win. Denver's going to lose how many games at home this season? Lose outright.
2.
I was going to say 5. It's 4 or 5 is the number.
First half spread's 4.5.
Book makes you pay. They
Yeah.
make you pay.
So there you go. You made it.
Hey.
So that's on that tonight if you want first half. Lakers lost last night in Sacramento. I did watch the new Light the Beam ceremony. It's pretty wild in Sacramento.
Sacramento going to be a fun team to watch.
They're damn good.
It's going to be a fun team to watch.
If
100%. I don't know if you're going. I'm dragging you. If you don't,
we got the invite last night. I got the invite last night. I got the invite text. Say, when are you and Dave coming up? I said, we're planning on it. Yeah, we're coming.
We're going to watch the Beam in person, the whole deal.
Mm-hmm.
We will have content. Anyone in the area, come join us.
Yeah,
we're going 100%.
If Monk and Herter play the way they played last night for the Kings, they are a fucking problem. Like, they are a really big fucking problem. Herter has struggled early, but he hit a big 3 in overtime last night against the Lakers. It was a monster shot that put the game pretty much on ice for Sacramento. I mean, LeBron did his thing, and Anthony Davis did his thing. But I mean, that team, Harrison Barnes is a piece, and that's a guy who can be a very, very good player, NBA caliber player when he's on. And they've got, an ankle turn for De'Aaron Fox. He was on a bum wheel for most of the game last night. It didn't matter. Other guys picked up the slack. Kings are for real. They're a tough team.
I love the come up for young teams and young guys in the NBA. I was getting Warrior stuff before they were the Warriors.
Right.
I was watching the way they played. Steph was the key, but everybody was playing with them. Not alongside him. They were playing with him. And he was building something. The Kings are building something. It's fun to watch. And last night, they looked young. The Lakers looked old.
True.
That was great. All that being said, whoever put up Lakers -2 on an overnight line last night, we're having a meeting in the office today. We're going, hold on. Did you really think that was a good number? Hold on.
3.5. It's 3.5 now.
Hold on. Tell me why. Hold on. Because we're going to have a discussion. Because I'm watching that game last night, and I saw K-Dub, Kevin Walsh, put out a tweet that said something about the game today. And I said, if it ain't Lakers -4 or 4.5 to start, we're gonna have to have a meeting. We're gonna have to sit down with HR, and we're gonna have to have a talk about your power rankings or your numbers or your ability to, like newbie and Tony say, you don't know ball, bro, because that's a 4. I'm surprised listen.
It's 3.5 right now.
Come on.
Still
Should be
under.
4. Just go to 4. Let's go to 4. Let them have the magic. I don't know who's playing and who's not. I didn't know that last night, but I know as soon as they lost, guess what? I know it's back-to-back, and I know those guys are old. They're playing. You can't lose at home to Orlando. Can you?
I mean, I guess you could, but you shouldn't. True. No, that's true. It's now climbing. So if you want the Lakers tonight, get on them now because that number is not going to be there for much longer. To hockey we go. The Florida Panthers are going to Boston. Bruins 7-0-1 on the year.
Oh.
Bruins are -165 favorites. Total is 6 in this game.
Hold on. I'm gonna have to put on the dark. The dark. I don't have.
Celtics got revenge earlier last week against the Miami Heat. Same building, same result.
This is just in case anyone's watching. It's a fake Florida Panther fan.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of them. Let's keep it real.
Sure.
There were a lot of fans that weren't fans until they actually won last year.
They jumped on their bandwagon. True.
Yeah. Good luck, Florida. Good luck
The
today.
pissed off Bruins team after blowing that 3-1 lead in the third period to Anaheim last time out.
Good luck. I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't take Florida tonight, and they're taking it. They're not. The number's coming down. That's awesome. Really? That's awesome. Come get it.
Right.
Come get it. That's what I would say tonight. And listen, you can clip it and you can do fun videos after. That's fine if you'd like. if you're still watching the show.
Right. Oh, what do you mean if?
No.
The obsession's
if Florida
real.
wins, there might be videos. There might be call-outs. It might happen.
Sure.
But if Florida loses, there won't be anything.
There's crickets. There'll be silence. There'll be nothing. They'll be moving on. It never happened. Game didn't get played.
Yeah.
Bruins.
Lost the chat. Does anybody want the Florida Panthers tonight? I don't.
Good luck.
I don't. But listen, one game, they could go in there and win. They did it last year. They won a game 7 on the road to playoffs.
Panthers are 4-3 on the year. The Bruins haven't lost in regulation yet, and they're not going to lose this game tonight because of what happened against the Ducks. They've had it.
They ain't got the same guys.
What do you mean?
But
they're 7-0-1. They're 7-0-1.
I know. They lost to the Ducks, dude.
No, they lost in overtime to the Ducks. Didn't lose in regulation. They lost in overtime. So they got a point out of it. They haven't gotten beaten yet in 60 minutes.
Right.
In 8 games.
Yeah.
So
good luck.
Don't think it's going to be tonight. They're a lot pissed off.
I don't think so.
Bruins fans are going to that building tonight looking for blood. They want payback for last week. Chicago's playing at Arizona. Coyotes are -190.
See, if I was down in Arizona, I'd be going to this game tonight.
This is a little bit heavy, is it not?
Because there ain't going to be nobody at this game tonight. The World Series is in town, boys and girls.
Fair point. Right. Good point.
Ain't nobody home down there tonight. How in the hell is Arizona minus what? 185, 190?
Yeah.
Come on, son.
It's heavy, right?
Heavy? Come on. Can't be this high. Can't. The Blackhawks are a wild card every night. They're going to give up a ton of shots. If they outscore
beat Vegas in the last game. They beat Vegas on the road. Like, what are we doing? Like, huh?
Line's a little bit extra.
Yeah, I don't get it.
A little bit extra.
I would take the dog. And then finally, Montreal is playing here in Vegas tonight. Last game of the night, 8-0-1 Vegas after losing in overtime to Chicago in their last game. This is always interesting because I don't know. I'm guessing the answer is yes. But when Montreal plays here, which is 1 or 2 games a year, their fans come down here like crazy.
Yeah, if I didn't have obligations, I'd 100% be at this game tonight.
This is a big road crowd game normally.
Yeah.
A lot of because Golden Knight fans don't care about the Canadians, but Canadians want to come down here, so they'll buy their tickets.
Hold on. The views expressed by this show, like it's just by Matt Perrault right now. The Canadians, the Vegas do care about the Canadians. We do.
No, the
We got
people.
a lot of people.
Montreal Canadiens, the team, not the country. The Montreal Canadiens. Nobody who's a Vegas Golden Knight fans views Montreal as a big rival. This game is not circled on the. This game is not circled on the schedule. Being like, I want to go to a Montreal game.
No. A weekday, early season, out of conference Canadian team.
Yes,
those are the tickets you give to your friends.
This is a sell game. This is This is why normally the building's like half Montreal. I've gone to this game before. There's a lot of Canadians that are going to be in this building, and a lot of red and blue, or as you call it, rouge.
Blue, blanc, and rouge
coming in.
I'm wearing a Canadians jersey on the show tonight on Sports.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
so
get them all riled up because they said, you can't talk about hockey because people don't like hockey.
Vegas wins 60 minutes in regulation.
Tight game.
Probably one. Yeah, maybe plus one.
Tight game.
Take a puck line, Montreal, if you want. Plus 1.5.
Big move to the under in that game.
It's Montreal at home. Montreal's an under team. Vegas is an under team. Every game for Vegas is under. I mean, it's just like, rinse and repeat right now for Vegas. Yes, the Blackout game went over, but most games are 3-1, 3-2.
I don't know. Wow.
Although, wow.
Joe the Fat Panda said Coyote tickets on SeatGeek right now start at $90. The D-backs start at $300. That's a shockingly small spread. He's right. I thought it would be like almost nothing.
Right. That's surprising.
Chef Benny's at a conference, by the way, in Milwaukee. He was in person to see the anthem last night. He went to the game.
Oh my, the Bucks game. He saw that travesty. Yikes.
Yeah,
oh my. Okay. This comes from our guy KC.
JC from KC.
JC from KC. Here's his Ask the BBV.
Oh, let's go.
Says, guys, as we approach the halfway point in the NFL regular season, is there anything in the futures market that interests you, or would you begin to take a position on? Thanks in advance. JC from KC at JC from KC 87 on Twitter X. Anything that interests you in the futures market at the moment?
Oh, I'm always looking. I was actually looking at Exactas yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
San Francisco loses. Their price has got to be adjusted.
I have two.
Win.
I've told you this.
Has got to be adjusted. I'm trying to find the other team in the NFC. That's my puzzle right now.
If I were you, and audience-wise, if you guys are looking at this, wondering what I'm going to be doing too, Ravens, Bengals. I believe one of those two teams will be your representative from the AFC. So take the 4. You can buy. It really isn't that expensive to do it if you want, but if you find a book with Exactas, we did this on the phone day, but the top 4 teams in the NFC, not Eagles, Niners, Cowboys.
Who's the 4th?
Who? Like, right? Who?
Seattle.
Wow. Seattle.
The Saints?
No. Derek Carr. Just because he played well yesterday. No.
The Lions?
Yes. I would say yes. Those are your 4.
Yeah.
So you can buy 8 tickets if you want. Those teams against over the others. If you're looking for exacted prices and start to, build that portfolio as you go, I'm guessing the numbers are quite good right now on both. 40, 50 to 1, something along those lines. That you can just start to take positions and start to get yourself ready. So for me, that's what I would do. I think it's in the AFC. I have said it before. The Chiefs aren't winning at all. Teams don't go back to back. You saw it yesterday. It's just they don't go back to back. Bengals are on the rise. Ravens are at the top, but they are a Lamar Jackson bad performance away from losing in the playoffs and getting knocked out. So they worry me a little bit. But I think those are your 2 best AFC teams to make here to Vegas.
Max Scherzer, 12 career starts versus Arizona.
Yes.
9-0, 2.65 ERA.
Amazing. But what's that? Against most teams, does he have numbers like that? It's Max Scherzer. Who's he bad against?
You know, he started as a Diamondback, right?
Correct. Yeah, it's a big go back home day for him. I get it. But I mean, look, again, I don't hate. Tell me Rangers win. I'm not going to fight on it. They've won every road game. They went on the road. So like Rangers winning on the road just means, again, it's, rinse and repeat in terms of what they are. So that's why I'm staying away from the game. I'm going to watch it and see if there's something in game I can take, but nothing pregame. I would lean Rangers, but I feel like Diamondbacks are going to win the game.
We got to get this kid JC from KC a hat. He's always out representing. He's out running. He's doing a bunch of stuff. We're going to get you a hat, JC from KC. I promise you, sir.
Thank you for the question. We appreciate it.
Yes, we do. You should be looking at stuff like that. It's easy to pick the teams at the top. It's just give yourself opportunity to pick teams that may be able to win 3 games. You got to figure out who's going to win 3 games in January just to get to the Super Bowl. You don't have to get them. I mean, ideally, you want to get them to win, but if you put yourself in a position with a big price, meaning 25-1 or more, there's not any matchup on the planet that the team's going to be 25-1 favorite to win that game.
Head to head, right, in a one game.
Give yourself opportunity to get out. Now, you said Baltimore, Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
Both good choices to look at. Did Jacksonville do anything for you by winning that game the way they did yesterday?
I called it this summer. I will be involved with Jacksonville personally. Right? Yes. I said I picked the Jags to go to the Super Bowl in the summer. So that was my people were like, what? I was like, I picked Ravens, Jaguars, AFC Championship game. That's what I said in July.
Yeah.
So
can you imagine if Emerson is here and the Jags are in the Super Bowl? He's going to be on control. Did you see what he tweeted at us with the hot dogs in a bun and said it reminded him of the 3 of us?
I just can't believe he wasn't talking smack to you pregame before Jags Steelers. He was silent.
Well, I mean, that would have been fine. We could have gone back and forth. I'm sure he would have besmirched the terrible towel just like the Jags did. They came in and won the game and left with the towel and all that other stuff. That's fine. We'll remember that. That's fine. That's good. All that postseason history they have. Congratulations. Really good.
You sound like a Patriot fan. Hold on. Better to book. All right. Better to book a time. I'm not playing around here with this game. I'm betting Lions team total over 27.5. The Lions are averaging 31 points at home this season. That's 6th best in the NFL. They average 24.9 points per game overall. Vegas average is giving up 23 points per game, but on the road, they've given up 27 points per game. I don't like the secondary, which is banged up for the Raiders. I don't know about the Lions defense. That Ravens stat is definitely there because they might be banged up a little bit. Raiders might be able to put some points up on the board. I lean towards the over, but I'm concerned at like a 30-10 type of game here, and it's a rout. I think it's easier just to take the Lions team total over 27.5. Better to book it.
What's the juice?
Minus 110. There's no juice on it. At least last night.
I think bet it. I'm not crazy about it.
30 points. Lions score 30. Bears scored 30 last week on the Raiders.
Yeah.
Garoppolo to throw a pick. Fumble, short field, turnovers.
Right.
Prime time ugly coming here for the Raiders. If they get housed like 40-0, this might be it for Josh. I mean,
they're not firing him midseason.
I mean, maybe not midseason, but you'll start to hear at the trade deadline, you'll start to hear the team planning for next year. You'll start talking about the Raiders will start to talk about
trade deadline today, no?
Tomorrow at 4.
There's been a bunch of moves. I just actually checked my other screen. Yeah, there's been a bunch of moves today. So
on the show, anything huge? Giants traded a defensive lineman. Let's see who else gets traded, but yeah, the Giants trade Leonard Williams to the Seahawks. So the Giants have started their sell-off, which is smart.
Yes. That's good.
Patriots should do the exact same thing. Anyways, betting this, but a reluctant bet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I say bet it, but
Lions, Bruins, parlays, even money.
Money line?
Yep.
Money line?
Money line. Yep.
I think this wins.
Okay. Equinox parlay.
There we go.
Ready?
What the hell are you doing?
Ready?
Yeah, sure.
Lions,
Okay.
Bruins,
Okay.
Celtics.
Hi, Maron. Okay.
Plus 1.5 Arizona. You can play with the baseball bet, do whatever you want with it. You can take the Rangers because it's pretty much the number doesn't change that much. It might move like 10 cents one way or the other. So if you don't like the Arizona Diamondbacks, take the Rangers. Don't pay run line, but you take plus 1.5 with Arizona. Change it over for the over if you want. Another iteration of this, you can do it with the over 9.5 if you like that better.
You gotta have all four things.
The first three, Lions, Bruins, Celtics, is plus 147.
Who the Celtics playing?
Washington on the road, 10-point favorites.
They ain't losing that game. So the baseball, you could actually flip. You could do both Texas money line and take 1.5 with Arizona and actually middle the whole thing.
Hit them both. You're good. Yeah.
Texas wins by 1. Look out.
You hit them both.
While I'm watching on a YouTube channel, we just had a Raising Cane's ad run right now.
Oh, hi, Raising Kids. Appreciate it. That's them. They handled that, not us.
How about that? Do you like Raising Cane's?
Never had it.
Never once?
I was a Zaxby's person. When I was in the South, I ate Zaxby's. I didn't eat Raising Cane's. It's a big rivalry. I was a Zaxby's person.
I've been in Vegas for like almost a decade now. You've never had Raising Cane's one time?
I really rarely ever eat fast food.
I know. That's good. Well, even with the kid,
ever.
you don't let her?
She eats Chick-fil-A. That's what she eats.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. We don't go. I'll eat In-N-Out when I am dying. I'll eat In-N-Out because I can get it protein style.
When I'm dying.
Yes. I'm dying.
And it's open late.
Yes, it's open late if I want to fight the traffic because I can't stand sitting in that line. That line just pisses me off every single time because Chick-fil-A is so fast. It just runs through. In-N-Out.
The In-N-Out line is so fast too. What are you talking?
Long.
What are you talking about? The In-N-Out by my house is fast, man. Boom, boom, boom.
By my house, it's fast, but it's also 30 cars deep. So it's a printing press for money. It's incredible.
Raising Cane's 100% is better in person than taking it home.
Good to know.
Right.
Everyone says Raising Cane's, the sauce is the Zaxby's sauce against the Raising Cane sauce is the big fight in the South as to who's this better.
Really?
Yeah, whose sauce is better? I've heard the everyone goes against Raising Cane's just because of the thing. And also you have to realize something. Deep fried fast food. For some reason, my stomach is not horrible with Chick-fil-A, but most often when I get like any type of chicken deep fried from a fast food place, destroys my stomach. I'm in pain for hours afterwards.
Must be what I'm going through too, because I can't really do it much anymore. I keep saying I'm getting old and
gluten allergy.
I don't know what the hell's going on.
Look out.
I gotta go for all these. That's why I keep going all these tests and stuff. I never had these type of issues. And when you have kids and you're just on the run and you're coaching and you're in between meals and you're eating in a car and all that other crap, it might all be pain. It might all be like now when you have it, you're like, nah, I'd rather not eat.
Sometimes. Yeah.
I'd rather not eat. And
my little brother's going through that right now. My mom's, I got to call him today on the way to class. I got to call him and talk him what's going on with him because he's 6'2", 165 pounds.
Whew, that's a beanpole.
My mom's like, you got to call your brother. I'm like, why? He's like, you got to talk to him what's going on. He's either having stomach issues or something. Like, ask him what the hell's going on. I saw him and I was literally like stunned. Like, you're 6'2", 165. Like, what do you weigh? I'm like, I weigh 210.
Is this the farmer or is this a kid in San Francisco?
No, this is my other brother. This is Colin. This is Maine.
Oh.
This is the third. This is number 3. This is the middle. This is the middle. The oldest of the second iteration.
When we get the bag, I'm hiring a chef.
There you go. I would love that. Holy crap. Could you imagine that? That's the best money you can spend right there.
Keep me alive for the next 25.
Amen to that. I completely concur with that. In particular, just the convenience of it alone, of just not having to bleep with it, fuck with it. I can say we're in bonus time. Not just having to fuck with it. It's the most annoying thing of doing the 30 I'm on right now is that knowing I have to come home and make dinner. Pisses me off beyond all belief. I hate it.
I'm telling you, I've been asking for that for about 15 years, but we've got all these
idea.
kids and all this other stuff. We can't hire a chef,
No,
too. I
that's
know all these
great.
people on the payroll as it is.
Under 1.5 goals first period, Dallas Columbus. Dallas is 5-1 to the first
Columbus,
period.
you want to go under
They're 5-3 to the under.
in the first period?
Yep. They're good in the first period. It's kind of weird,
I
but
think
they are.
book this. Yeah,
They
I
are.
think I'd book this.
Ottinger.
Is he not playing again?
No, he's playing. Ottinger's playing.
Oh, okay.
And the number one for Columbus, whose name I can't say, is playing. Elvis, whatever the heck I say his name. I say his last name.
I like over.
Under 1.5.
I like over in the game, so I say book it.
It's plus 110 on that. 6/6 you like in the game?
Mm-hmm. Just at first glance.
You like over in a Dallas home game? Whoa.
They get healthy a little bit tonight against Columbus.
Ooh. Yeah, they might
Percy
win.
Roscoe.
4-1.
Percy Roscoe just came in chat and said Columbus can't stop a parked car. I've never heard that before. But that's great, Percy. I love this fucking chat. I swear to God, I love it.
Just telling you, this is why it's plus money. It's plus 110 on it. Just look at the data. This is what I love about Chris Otto, because you wouldn't think that, but they're only 3 times has it gone over in 8 games with Columbus so far. It's 37% of the time. Dallas is last in the league. They're 5-1. Only 16% of the time so far they've gone over 1.5. You can also bet no gift for Boston if you want. Boston's the worst team in the league to a goal in the first 10 minutes. Only 2 times in 8 games has that happened. Florida is middle of the pack, 4 out of 7, so they're right in the middle. I still can't believe Minnesota 8-1 to a gift. It's just like Minnesota is the absolute exact opposite of who they were last year. It's ridiculous.
What's wrong with that? That's good.
I think it's just weird. It's just totally opposite.
Right.
Let's see. We have 2 super chats to get to, both from Crunchy Beaver. In honor of the sports Equinox and the B's and C's parlay, is that a gambling confluence, Professor Perrault? Anyway, Bruins money line, Celtics money line, Texas, Arizona over 9, Raiders, Lions under 46.5 is a plus 574 parlay.
Give them to me slow. First one.
Bruins money line.
Good. Next.
Celtics money line.
Good. Next.
Texas, Arizona alt over 9.
Leaning that way. Next.
Under 46.5, Raiders, Lions. That's what gets them.
Prime time under. Damn. Well, I mean, you could bet that and then get out of that.
It's a plus 574 parlay.
Right? Because that'll be the last thing going. The game, if you have to get out of that bet, you can hit the ripcord and get out of that.
Right.
Although you might not be able to if it goes over quick. Like if they're scoring quick early, the number's going to go up. You won't be able to go over 56.5 or whatever it goes up to.
Right.
Huh. Wow, that's got a shot, Crunchy.
Right.
That's got a shot, yeah.
So, and then finally, fitting that the Iowa Hawkeyes and the Pittsburgh Steelers basically have the same uniforms. I've watched molasses move in the winter, but that's more entertaining than watching those 2 teams play football.
It's Monday. Why we got to bring this into this place right now?
Favorite thing about today is what?
You see the Iowa total, by the way?
No, what is it?
Open 29.5.
Holy mother!
They're playing in Wrigley Field against Northwestern, and Circus said, fuck it. 29.5. Somebody bet over. They're 30.5 this morning.
Yeah, I'd just principle it. I'd bet over.
Right?
Yeah, that's a principle play.
Is it?
Yeah, that's a principle play. It's an absolute principle play.
You want to go over in an Iowa game?
At 29? Yes. The defense might score 2 touchdowns on Northwestern.
I don't know what principle that is, but man, oh man, that's a tough one for me. Like, how in the hell? Oh, I don't know.
29. I mean, 30 gives me pause. 31 gives me real pause. like 31 makes me go, oh, okay, hold on a second.
Right. 21-10. That's the final.
What's the line? 10?
No, slower.
Oh, God.
It's Iowa minus like 6.
Iowa minus 6.
Hold on. On a neutral. That can't be, can it? What's the line? Iowa.
Exactly.
Iowa,
Bet it and forget it, Chris. I'm with you. I'm
5.
with Otto. I'm with Otto.
5.
Bet it and forget it. I'm with him. 100%.
Iowa -5, and the total is 30.5. Two places of 31. Oh, come on. What are we doing?
We'll do that later. Favorite thing about today is what?
Put it this way. Every day is literally a gift. And I don't mean a first period goal, the first 10 minutes. So this guy named Adam Johnson was playing hockey over the weekend over in England. Played for the Penguins, 13 games. Played in the past, a couple other minor leagues of NHLs. Goes overseas to play, crosses the blue line. Guy gets bumped and flips up. And I'm telling you, I've watched it now multiple times. I don't think it was accidental. That foot did not fly that way. I'm not saying he tried to kick him in the face, but he tried to make contact with him. Blade caught his neck. He went down. He got up. He went down again. Immediately, everyone on the ice knew it was bad. 29 years old, Adam Johnson died at the hospital. Never is going to have another day of life. And I was sick. I was literally sick to my stomach because all I want to do as a 53-year-old grown man who played hockey from the time I was 4 years old was the first time I stepped on the ice. And I had to stop playing the year before COVID. So 2019. I was playing roller hockey. I was playing ice hockey my whole life. I love it. Had the stroke. The doc said, I don't recommend you playing hockey anymore. I said, why? I said, I got to get back on the ice. I got to do it. I have to for me. He's like, Dave, one accident and you're never coming home again. Like you're done. Like it's not saying it's your fault, but something bad happens. You could bleed out. You're on the blood thinners and all this other stuff. And I thought, Doc, nothing's going to happen. Shook me to the fucking core.
Right.
When I saw it, I said, oh my God. And my wife in our text thread posted that this morning and we saw it again. And I was like, man, I'm so lucky, one, to be alive, but two, I feel terrible. I saw a video of the team talking about it and going, I mean, you just got dressed in the locker room, which was one of my favorite things to do, and BS with the guys and throw tape at each other and just have fun and then go out and play together and then come in the locker room after, do it, and maybe go have a drink, give each other crap and go home. And that's never happening again for that guy. And I thought, all right, we're going to do the show today. And I'm just blessed and lucky that we got people like in the locker room, which is like coming in the chat,
right?
You know, and everybody being here. Be thankful for the people in your life, guys and girls, and tell them that they're important to you as much as you possibly can every single day, because literally snap of a finger, everything can change. So just be appreciative of life every single day. My favorite thing about today is that we are here doing the show. We have a forum to talk about this stuff, and I'm just thankful.
So if you have kids, Halloween is a very big deal. Tomorrow night is Halloween. Tonight is a night to be careful of your stuff. You know what tonight is?
They still do Devil's Night?
It's Devil's Night.
Is that real?
I'm just throwing it out there. It's real. It's real in certain parts of the country. Just FYI, tonight's Devil's Night.
Now that I'm a grown up and have a house, if somebody throws an egg or something at my house,
oh yeah,
you better run.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. My car got to you. I don't know if you knew me then. I had one of my cars, and I have two cars this week, but I had one of my review cars out in my driveway, and like 4 or 5 years ago,
you froze. Snap. Hold on. Stop talking. Snap your fingers. Hold on. Look at that face. Mikey Awesome is going to have a field day with that face. He got you bad there. Uh-oh. So you left us frozen with, you had two cars outside a couple years ago, and
kids came and egged my cars. It wasn't my car. They thought it was my car, but they came through. They egged the whole neighborhood. They went crazy. They egged my driveway, they egged my garage door, and the cars and the truck that I had covered it with it. And I was like, okay. So just not my favorite thing about today, but my PSA of the day is just keep an eye tonight. You never know what could go on tonight because depending on where you are in this country, kids tend to get a little bit crazy and do a couple dumb things. So it's a Monday night, which makes it more likely to happen. So just be careful because kids can run around and tomorrow's a holiday in a way. You can get dressed up going to school. Halloween's always a weird day. Were you allowed to wear costumes to school?
Hey, man, yes.
Yeah, they don't let the kids wear costumes to school anymore.
Well, because I've been wearing Vegas. They wear pimps and hooker costumes and stuff in grade school. Parents are like, oh, put this on. This will be funny. Like, and then the scary costumes have gotten scary. Like they used to be fun.
Right.
They're scary now. The way you could do the blood and the makeup and all this other stuff.
Yep.
I didn't like none of that stuff. No, but yes, we
asking,
wear costumes all the time.
You're asking for trouble if you do that. So just keep your wits about you. So
the
back
show
tomorrow.
is starting late
tomorrow. Late. Noon Pacific, right? Ish.
Yeah. I hopefully should be home, depending on it, the doctor's office by 11:30. We'll start the show guaranteed by noon.
Okay.
If not a little bit sooner. Be ready to go in the chat. Get them all riled up. 11:30 Pacific, 2:30 Eastern.
Ish. Back tomorrow. Matt and Dave for Tuesday's BBB.